Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. I am your host, Tony, affectionately known now as Low Tone Tony. So we're gonna stick with that one. I kind of like that one. I kind of like that. That one kind of jive with me. You heard me? That one kind of jive with me. How y'all doing this morning? Top of the morning to everybody. In the chat. Top of the morning to you. It's 3 p.m. where I'm located here in the UAE. I know it's 7 p.m. Eastern time for you guys. You're probably just getting your day started. Probably just getting ready to drop the kids off at school or getting ready for work. Some of you people that just got off third shift. Just getting off work, enjoying the car ride home, or maybe you are at Starbucks in the line to Starbucks or Chick-fil-A, getting your morning started. So, hey, I appreciate you tuning in to the morning kickoff. Like every day, I'll be here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time, bringing you good vibes, good conversation, good debates, good energy. That's my goal each and every morning. Um, to provide you guys a jump to get your day started, help you get through your day, maybe even your week. Okay. So we're gonna continue day two of the Ejiro Evero. Today is Ejiro Evero in Carolina. Is it fair criticism or lazy blame? The talk has definitely been about both for Evero since he's been here. So we're gonna dive into that today, and I'm gonna put a link in the chat for anybody that wants to hop on the panel and join the conversation. Before we get started though, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, turn that post notification bell. When you do, select all so that way you'll be made aware each and every each and every morning that I do go live. So you won't miss a thing. And subscribe to the channel again. Share this with your family and friends. We always building real football conversation over here. So there's no fake hot takes, no media spin, just facts, football and football context. That's just like, just the way I like it. And like I always say, we're going to shake a little honey from the tree. All right. Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk is also part of the Carolina Armchair GM Network. So check the links in the comments for exclusive content and ways to support the channel. I do have that pinned in the chat that will take you to the PayPal. So whatever your heart desires. If you love the content, enjoying the conversation and debates and the vibe, hey, we I would greatly appreciate if you donate a gift some sort to the channel. That would greatly be appreciated. All right, go through some of the let me post this link in the chat for anybody that wants to come aboard and be a part of the conversation for today. And also don't forget armchair GM CJ. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, subscribe to his channel as well. I stream every morning to his channel and my channel. So no matter which platform that you're watching the morning kickoff on, it will be streamed to both channels. So support, super chat, PayPal, Cash App, it's all good. I don't have Cash App here in the UAE, but CJ, by him being in the States, has Cash App. So either or, we definitely appreciate your support. Let me go through the comments real quick. Poppin', what's good? Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you tuning in, my brother. Frankie 23 said good morning. Good morning, Frankie. Good morning. I see you have a like a Navy destroyer ship as your profile pic. Were you in the Navy, Frankie? Just curious. Just curious. Let's see. Cole Rory 9063 say good morning, another day. Good morning, Cole. Yes, another day above dirt is always a blessing. Always a blessing. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. Frankie 23 said keep pounding, my guy. Definitely keep pounding. D Cash said Tony. What's up, D Cash? Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for chiming in this morning to the morning kickoff. All right. Frankie said, yeah, was in the Navy. I figured. Okay. All right. Salute to you, my veteran. Salute to you. All right. So yeah, the link is in the chat for anybody that wants to hop aboard and hop on the panel. That's what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say hop aboard. That sounds crazy. But yeah, anybody that want to hop on the panel, and we can get today's discussion going. Let's see who we have here. Cyburn 21. Hey, appreciate you, Cyburn 21. I also saw that you just signed up for the Patreon. So I definitely appreciate that. We're definitely going to have continue to uh bring you guys information, try to interact with people on Patreon. I think Thursday is the first day that I will actually do a film review. Most of you guys know Will. Will is part of the debate VIP on Patreon, and his request was to watch some film of Jonathan Brooks. So we're going to watch I actually got 4 games of Jonathan Brooks. One of them I don't want to watch because that's the game he tore his ACL. It's the first time in college. But we got 3 other games that we're going to watch Thursday after Thursday live. So if you're not a paid member on the Patreon, which is the film access or the debate VIP, then you won't be able to participate in the film breakdown. Fan zone People in the fan zone of the first tier are not eligible to be a part of the film breakdown. That's for the film access, and that's also for debate VIP. And since Will is the only one in debate VIP, he got to choose what we watch first. So yeah, we're going to watch that. We're going to get a full glimpse of what Jonathan Brooks was before, his before he tore his ACL and things like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday. All right. Let's see. Frankie said training camp is a few weeks away. Yes, it is, my guy. I think the rookies report on the 21st and the veterans report on the 22nd. And the first day of actual practice will be the 23rd. That's why I read on the Panthers website the day before yesterday. So yeah, we are right around the corner. Cole Roy said, "Man, I love the show. Most positive Panthers podcast." I appreciate that, Cole. I definitely appreciate that. Hey, just good vibes over here, man. I try to, the good thing about having your own house, you can always set the temperature and control the thermostat, if you know what I mean. So my thermostat is set on a good temperature where anyone can come in and be welcome and enjoy what the show brings. So yeah, nobody adjust that thermostat but me. So that's the way I like it. Broski Bear say good morning, Tony. Good morning, Broski. How you feeling, brother? How y'all feeling out over there in Gary, Indiana? Okay, I ain't gonna start with you this early. It's too early for that, Broski. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But hey, I'm always glad that you're here, man. Top of the morning to you. Kevin Hubbard said, good morning. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning. Appreciate you tapping in, man. I've seen you the past few days, so you know I'm not gonna say welcome to Morning Kickoff because you've been here before. It's not like it's new to you, so I appreciate you tapping in though. Top of the morning to you as well. Frankie said July 22nd. Yeah. The rookies report July 21st. The veterans report the 22nd, and the first day of practice will be the 23rd. Okay. Frankie said, I miss driving 45 minutes away going to Wofford College for training camp. And I experienced that one time back in 2023. Me and my cousin, me and CJ, we went to training camp. I flew in and I think I stayed about 2 weeks, and that was my first time going down to Wofford. Really enjoyed the atmosphere that they have that they had for us down there. So I'm going to miss it. And I've only been once. So you guys that are, you know, that have gone multiple times, or it's a every summer type thing for you, a trip to Spartanburg. Yeah, I definitely know that you're going to miss it. And I know the people in Spartanburg and the surrounding cities in South Carolina definitely miss it as well. There was a lot of negative comments geared towards the Teppers and the Panther organization for making that decision. I can understand it, but it's not one that I particularly agreed with. Even though it does save gas and time for the ones that live in Charlotte, it definitely makes it easier for people in Charlotte and the surrounding areas of Charlotte. So, but when you try to incorporate the two Carolinas, then you take away something that something in my opinion that was the most meaningful thing to them, that they can have a part of the organization. You take that away, that leaves a lot of people salty. But hopefully, um, one day they can do something about that, make things right. I don't think they'll move training camp back down there, but hopefully they can do something to save face with the people of South Carolina. And maybe they have. I just don't know about it. Yeah. So Frank said it was always so hot. Yes, yes, it was, brother. Yes, yes, it was. I'm not a hat person. I don't even wear hats. But trust me, I brought one of those Panthers like look like the little fishing hat that got the brim all the way around and got the little string. Oh yeah. Yeah, I caught me one of those real quick because the sun was baking a brother through the scalp. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Frankie said, been with the Panthers since 1995. So have I, my guy. Ever since they announced it in 93, I was just waiting for 95 to get here. Yes, sir. Day one. Cole said, I lived in Camden, South Carolina. I was always hyped to watch the incoming players practice, even though some of them didn't make the team, was still such a good time. Yeah, that's a fact. It was definitely had a good time, good vibes, meeting people. This was before or right when me and CJ just started doing podcasting, when we had two fans in the stands. Um, definitely met a lot of people at that training camp and had a good time, man. Had a good time. Had a good time traveling down there each and every morning. Was never stuck in traffic. So I don't have no bad experience about Spartanburg, about Walford, except the heat. That's the only thing. Yeah. All right. All right. So let's get into it. So my opening was yesterday. We looked at Evero's Denver ceiling. We looked at exactly what the defense looked like in Denver, and that was his first year as a defensive coordinator, right? So today we deal with the Carolina reality. We're gonna look at the 3 years that Evero has been the defensive coordinator here. So we're gonna look at the stats. We're gonna compare them. We're gonna see some ups and downs. We're gonna look at some growth areas that we feel like we need to get a little bit better at. I know we had a big jump from 24 to 25, but you're always searching to get just a little bit better, in my opinion. So I don't think nobody, even including the defense, was content with being middle of the pack. I don't believe that's the goal that they look to achieve each and every year. So we're gonna dive into that. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, Panther fans, we know this conversation is it's not a simple one to have. It's not a simple one that's been had when we talk about Evero in the defense. In 23, Carolina defense had real numbers. Fourth in total defense, a franchise record mark in passing yards allowed per game. Derrick Brown playing at a Pro Bowl level. Okay, but here's the part that makes the debate real. Panther fans do not only remember yardage, they remember points. They remember missed stops. They remember the offense needing help. They remember games where the defense needed one more play. Or they also remember games where they just needed the offense to do their part, right? So today is not about giving Evero a free pass. It's not about blaming him just because fans are frustrated. So the real question is: are Panther fans blaming Evero for roster limitations, or are roster limitations being used to to protect Evero from fair criticism? All right. So just wait for somebody to hit the link, and then we can really like get into the show. All right. So I'm gonna start with the facts. All right. So we already mentioned Evero. We had mentioned that the defense finished fourth in total defense in 2023, allowing 293.9 yards per game. So we'll just say 294 just to round it up. Carolina also allowed 172 passing yards per game. Again, I rounded the number up. It was 171.5. Which Panthers, .com says set a franchise record and ranked third fewest in the NFL that year. Derrick Brown also made his first Pro Bowl and set an NFL record for tackles by a defensive lineman in a season with 103. Okay. So put it in context for you. Those numbers matter, but the football question is not just whether the defense ranked high in yards. The question is whether the defense consistently changed games. Did it create short fields? Did it close drives? Did it hold up when the offense needed help? Did it did it force enough negative possessions? So that will be the question. When we talk about just 2023, I know a lot of people like to say, yeah, we were ranked fourth overall in total defense, and as far as passing yards, I think we was ranked third. But there's other numbers that kind of misconstrue or give it a misconception about that fourth overall defense. All right, let me bring my boy to the front onto the panel. Tip drill Will Robertson. How you feeling this morning, my guy? Well, Will was on and then he left. Let's see if he come back. I'm pretty sure he'll come. Oh, there you go. Let's see. Tip drill Will, what's going on?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good,
Sorry about
good
that.
morning. Good morning.
Sorry about that.
How you feeling today, man?
Good, 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 good. I,
Oh,
I was
okay.
listening to your opening. I was listening to your opening monologue, so I'm caught up.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well, cool. Then we'll go right into the debate question. So the question is: was the 2023 Panther defense real proof of Rivero's coaching, or did yardage rankings make the defense look more complete than it was? Yeah, Will. Yeah.
Um,
The juice is
I can't,
flowing.
I came prepared this morning. I was,
You came prepared.
I just
You
got through
came
shadow
prepared.
box. Yeah, I just got through shadow boxing and everything. I'm ready. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying?
All right. All
Um,
right.
so,
Then it is
so,
what it is.
so I think that it's proof that is proof of his scheme and that of his coaching ability.
Okay.
They didn't give him everything he needed. Derek Brown came back, you know.
Yeah.
Mike Jack performed admirably, but to the point that you pointed out as you took us down the journey of our defense growth or lack thereof, some people think, or even I thought,
Right.
you know, we all obviously discussed the holes down the spine of the defense. We talked about how some of that stuff got patched up. We talked about how Derek Brown coming back. Um, all of those things gave him some of the talent he needed. And by giving the talent that he needed and making sure that he selected the right players and coaching them up, took
Right.
them from the worst to middle of the pack. That I don't think that we got I don't think that Derek Brown moved the needle that much. It had to be an element of coaching, placing the players in the right situation, having the right game plan, all of the things that are
Hmm.
necessary in order for you to have a successful defense in the league.
Okay. All right. So, but when we talk about Derrick Brown, and we all know how that 2023 season was like his coming out season. There was a lot of variables I think that played a part of him achieving the or setting the record that he did with 103 tackles. Because hey, let's
Mhm,
be honest, the defense was on the field a whole hell of a lot than they would like to be. So he had to work a little extra hard, you know, in order to obtain that number. Now I don't think he was
mhm.
chasing the record, but being on the field as much as they were, it definitely played a part into achieving that record and him also making the Pro Bowl that year. But do you feel like Derrick Brown gives the Panthers a real defensive anchor? And I only before you answer that, only reason I asked that because I have heard um a number of times, not a lot, but number of times, people talking about uh possibly trading Derrick Brown to get to some draft picks. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time we get to the point where it's time to pay somebody, they don't want to pay nobody what that person is probably worth. They're ready to trade them off and go bargain bin shopping at Dollar General. So do you feel like he's a real defensive anchor for this team? I know the answer, but
Yes,
I just want to ask the question anyway.
yes.
Yeah.
People who want to trade players for draft capital all the time are just looking for scratch. Are the people that buy scratch off tickets, man? It,
Wait a minute, hold up. I hold up, wait a minute. I feel offended. I
yeah.
buy scratch
You
off
feel
tickets when
attacked?
I
You
can.
feel you
Yeah,
feel
I
attacked?
feel attacked. Yeah,
Yeah,
I buy
okay.
scratch off tickets. Mr. Robinson. What you mean by that?
You one of them
Go
people.
ahead.
So, so a draft pick is nothing more than an educated guess of how this player will pan out in your scheme, and you pay him at a low cost. Sometimes you have to invest in those players that you've already drafted. Derek Brown was who we drafted. And I don't, and I think you remember this. You remember when Derek Brown got benched and all that other stuff, and
Yes.
everybody had their pitchforks out. Get that bum out of here. He's
Yeah, I
yada yada
remember.
yada. Oh my gosh. And I was saying the guy is basically on his rookie contract. It takes
Yep.
a defensive lineman, an interior defensive lineman, some time to get ready. He didn't even have a running mate on that defensive line when he got here. So I say all of that to go to Lee. It's gonna be we're gonna have that guy is going to have some bumps in the road. You've already
That's a
pointed
fact.
out, you've already pointed out that he has 1 year of production.
Yeah, true production.
True
True
production,
production
yes.
that warrants the hype that he got this year. Yeah. I'll
So
give him that.
that neck injury by oh what's the guy
Turk
name?
Wharton. You talking
By
about Turk
Turk
Wharton?
Wharton Turk Wharton is a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, it
big
is.
deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Um so Derek Brown, people wanted to trade Derek Brown and all this other stuff. They have and there were guys that and guys and ladies that were on that train. And now you can't find them nowhere. Could
Yeah.
trade him his rookie season. Now, why think about this? Why would you trade arguably top three, maybe four defensive tackle in the league off your defense?
I don't understand it. I do not understand it.
That don't make
I do not
sense to me.
understand it. Some
We
some
just
some
talked
some,
about the
some
spine of our defense. We just talked about the spine of our defense. I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think sometimes people just be talking just to be talking.
Mhm.
Um what I don't know the full reason behind some of the things that people say. I remember a time when we didn't have no consistency uh in the defense at all, and especially on the front line. And then once we drafted Derek Brown, we didn't really give him like no true running mate since he's been with the Panthers. Like, nobody has stuck beside him and played with him more than like 2 years. I think we had Ashawn Robinson for 2 years. I think
Right.
Matt Ioannidis was available for like a year or two, if I'm not mistaken. Daquan Jones. It was
I
no more
forgot
than
about
two.
Matt
Yeah,
Ioannidis. Mm.
yeah, Matt Ioannidis. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was Matt Rule boy. Matt Rule was his coach at Temple. Daquan Jones, I think
Mhm.
no more than 2 years. So it was nobody consistently on the opposite side of him that really stuck around to build a cohesiveness within the interior of that defense. And we say, every year, Derek Brown needs a running mate. Derek Brown needs a running mate. So hopefully Lee Hunter can come in and be what everybody believes him to be. I just believe, you know, yeah, you showed 1 year what you're capable of. Okay. But for me, I saw the first 2 years at UCF. Not every game, but I watched enough games of him at UCF. I watched in a um I think it wasn't like not bowl game, one of the All-Star games. And I don't know if you follow North Carolina Tar Heels. Tar Heels had a center by the name of Willie Lampkin. Willie Lampkin was like 5'11", 275 pounds. And it was a one-on-one drills between Willie Lampkin and Lee Hunter. And let me just tell you, it did not bode well for Lee Hunter.
Really?
And yeah, I'm gonna find that because I believe in backing up what I say. I'm going to find that clip, and we're going to pull it up. All right.
Mhm.
So let me see. I think bro. Yeah, let me bring Broski up on the panel. Broski Bear, what's good, my guy?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
I was gonna
How you
say, man,
feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Just getting my coffee going right now. But
Oh
yeah,
shit.
man, I got some
Yeah. Talk to
Ejiro
me.
Evero facts to discuss. And but yeah, Lee Hunter,
Okay.
I mean, that's what happens when you draft a Big 12 lineman. You know what I mean? You're taking a big risk. When you're not dipping into the Big Ten or the SEC for your trenches, you take a big risk because the competition in the Big 12 in the trenches is not anywhere near what it is in those other
Yeah,
two
it's not.
conferences.
It's not the same. No, it's
Nope.
not the same. You absolutely correct on that. You're absolutely correct on that. So let me I don't know if you heard the debate question, but the debate question
Yeah.
was the 2023 Panthers defense real proof of Rivero's coaching, or did yardage rankings make the defense look more complete than it was? And hold on, before you answer, I do have some stats from 2023, 24, and 25.
Yep.
All right. So we can get into that right there. Okay. So go ahead, Broski. Go ahead and answer the question, then I'll go over these stats.
Well, I mean, I think the defense, improved. The first time it made really, I don't know, it improved a little bit from obviously from last year, from 2024 to 2025. The defense improved. It went into
Right,
the
right.
pits in 2024. I mean, that was the worst of the worst almost across the board. Um, but one of,
Absolutely.
one of the things I wanted to bring up in regards to 2023 is, I mean, Brian Burns and Frankie Louvu were on the team that year, right? That was their last year that they played.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
it's pretty tough. To me, Louvu was the leader of that defense, in my opinion, right? I mean, they had Derek Brown, but I think Louvu was like kind of like the leader. Burns, say what you want about him. He was a pass rushing threat. People say he's not the best all around edge or whatever, but I mean, he was like the pass rush threat. Um, and obviously he went on to the Giants, and I believe he had a 16 sack season last year. But
He did.
so that's kind of tough too, because like the entire Evero had to go through like a lot of turnover, I feel, on the defense, right off the bat. So from 2023 to 2024, his defense got gutted pretty much. I mean, other than Horn and
That's true.
Brown, it's like that's kind of tough when you leave your top, you lose your captain of your defense, and you lose your top pass rusher. After you already had him for 1 year. So it's not like he wasn't starting with them from the beginning. It's like they had him and then he just took him away. So it's like, oh man, he just implemented everything. Now he's got to change it all again because those guys are gone, I feel. But yeah, I mean that's my point. I mean, I think it's the entire regime on the team. It's put up a shut up season for Canales, for Evero, for a lot of the players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I,
saying? I
I
really,
can I can agree that there's a lot of there is a lot of pressure. I
yeah,
think there's pressure on these guys every year. You know what I'm saying? Especially not just the pressure that they get from the fans, from the media or anything like that. I think it's a lot of it comes from the pressure from themselves, wanting to be better, wanting to put a better product on the field for the fans, if for the Panthers. So
yeah,
I don't think those guys ever not feel the pressure of doing better, because they know every decision that they make, every draft pick that they make, every
sure.
undrafted
It's
undrafted player that they bring into the organization matters.
yeah,
Every person that they pick up in free agency matters. You know what I mean? So,
It's a high pressure
but
career. I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But my thing is this: like, I think Canales and Evero are tied together now. I mean, we know their contracts are timed up, and I don't think
okay.
Evero's surviving another head coaching change because they fired the head coach. They fired Frank Reich and they kept Evero, right? So I don't
Hmm.
think if they fire Canales, I don't think Evero is going to survive that. That's very
Yeah.
unlikely, in
Well,
my opinion.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, and I'm not one to speculate that
Yeah,
far in advance or anything like that.
I hear
So
you.
what I will say is I'm definitely looking forward to a healthy season. Definitely looking forward to some depth. I'm definitely looking for um better production on both sides of the ball. And no, like you mentioned, as we sit here and we look at the defensive comparison, so I'm just gonna take 23 out of the equation because we kind of like talked about that. We did talk about that yesterday. Yesterday, comparing it to a Denver 2022 when Evero was there. But like you mentioned, 2024 was probably the worst defensive statistical year. Ain't no probably. It was the worst defensive statistic statistically year statistical year for the Panthers. I mean, they ranked at the
Yeah,
bottom in damn near everything. 404 and a half yards, you know, total defense, 32nd in the league. 23rd in the
yeah,
league in passing defense, 32nd in rushing defense, 32nd in scoring defense, 29th in red zone defense, 32nd in third down defense. I mean,
yeah.
they
They
had
let
more
up.
sacks. Yeah, they had more sacks than 2023, had more interceptions than 2023, and had more forced turnovers than 2023. But the
They let.
overall defense,
Yeah,
go
not
ahead.
good. I mean, I was going to say they let up the most rushing yards in one season in the history of the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I mean, when you go back to 2023, you can factor in that before then we had Snow was the defensive coordinator. He ran that college version of a 3-3-5 stack defense. Probably one of the first time that was ever ran in the league because that's typically a college defensive scheme. So that was something that he brought. He used at Baylor. He used at Temple, uh, uh, coaching alongside Matt Rule. So when you're trying to go from a 4-3 before Snow, then to a 3-3-5 stack, and now you're bringing in a defense coordinator that wants to run a 3-4. So all that personnel that you had in the 4-3 or in the
Hmm.
3-3-5 stack, they don't necessarily fit into the scheme of a 3-4.
Yeah.
There were players, in my opinion, that we had that needed to go. Because I mean, if you can keep doing the same thing with the same people over and over again and not getting any better results, so a change has to come somewhere because either sooner or later the head coach or the defense coordinator or whoever is going to lose their job. And if these guys want to, keep their job, then they need to make the necessary changes that they need to make in order for you to run your 3-4 defense like you need to or like you want. You got to get the right people in there. So I think that's with the new regime with Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, those guys wanted to flush out the old and bring in their guys, and I can understand that. A lot of people were complaining about Scott Fitterer and the damage that he did. So a lot of those picks, especially draft picks and free agents that he brought in, well, Dan Morgan was right by his side when all that was happening. And since he's been there, they have pretty much got rid of all those guys. So I understand the change and I understand there's some patience that need to come with it, but just as well as I do, and we'll know as well too, in today's society, it's all about what have you done for me right now. A lot of people don't have the patience for a 3, 4, 5 year plan. Don't nobody want to hear that or really want to talk about that. But Dan, to his credit, him and Dave did mention that in their first press conference that it's going to be a slow process. They want to build through the draft, add some key free agents along the way, and develop their the culture in the team in that manner. And from what I've seen so far, they're doing just that. What you think, Will? Talk to me.
Yeah. There has been significant changes from that first press conference with with Dan Morgan and then with Dave Canales. There in I mean, we've made a 180 change. Now that we've made the 180 change, we still got a hill to climb. And I get it that there's going to be some people who are just going to be just frustrated and want instant gratification. But if you look at just the body of work that Dan Morgan, uh, uh, Dave Canales, and this and oh, what's the capologist's name? You see his face.
Who you talking about?
The capologist, the guy, the money guy.
Oh, Brant Tillis.
Brant Tillis. Thank you. Brant Tillis.
Yeah.
All of the moves that they've made, they flushed out the roster. They've changed the culture of the team because there was little small things that people don't remember, may not remember. When Dave Canales came in as the head coach of this team, and he told them in mini camp, when you come back for training camp, you got to be in shape in order to get started. He cut people who wasn't in shape. Get out of here. You're gone.
I remember that. Yep.
He changed the entire culture of the team. Yeah, there is pressure on the coaching staff to produce, but I think that Dave Canales is hot seat isn't his seat isn't warm. And I don't think Ejiro Evero's seat isn't warm. Hell, they gave him a contract and nobody even knew about it.
We talked about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the Panthers think that they found their ingredients of executive front office, coaching staff, and now they feel like they're turning the roster in the right direction. And
Mm.
you have seen positive results. You've seen more games won in year one, more games won in year two, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So year three, I'm looking forward to seeing what this looks like. So when you say put up and like Broski, when you said put up and shut up, I think that's every year. You're gonna have to produce every year. And I think the pressure of losing your job is enough to be motivated
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
produce.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
think
fair.
do you think Canales is tied to Bryce or
Nope.
do you-
We ain't talking no Bryce today. We talking about the defense. It's about Ejiro Evero, broski. Come on now. We ain't talking about no Bryce today.
do you think
Let's
Evero
stick to the
is tied to
topic.
Canales? Like, do you think they're kind of like a package deal at this point?
You
Is
asking
that
me
for
or
me?
Will?
Either one.
I'll go first, Will. No, I don't think they're tied together because the fact that Evero was here before Canales became the head coach, and I believe from what Canales says, when he first got here, his first introduction, playing against Evero when he was in Tampa for that 1 year, he liked the scheme of the defense, so he was glad that he was able to stick around and continue to be the defensive coordinator. So I don't think they're necessarily tied to the hip. I honestly believe that Canales has more leeway than Evero does. If that makes sense. What you think, Will? That's just my opinion. What you think, Will? Broski did ask a good question though.
Yeah, I don't think they're tied together. Um, but I think that you know, I know the contracts are in sync together.
Right.
That makes business sense that their contracts were tied together. So even if they wanted to
Right.
if they wanted to move away from them, because you know, coaching contracts are guarantees, and you're paying them a certain amount of money. So you don't want, you know, you kind of want it to be organized in a way where if we think this is going to work out, Evero is going to be going into a head coaching gig somewhere. And I've said this many times before. I know that we are frustrated with Ejiro Evero's production and the defensive production, but he is highly regarded in NFL circles.
Mm-hmm.
When they thought that they was getting rid of Dave Canales, when you know, when we were on looking for a head coach, he had to stop people from even talking about Ejiro Evero. He, you know, I'm talking about
Tomorrow,
what
Tepper.
Tepper's like, look,
Tepper.
he's going to be the defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. You're not giving him a head coaching job, don't even talk to him. And there was coaching staffs that was like, Ejiro Evero's available. Ejiro Evero's available. As a matter of fact, the Georgia Pigeons wanted him.
The Georgia. Hey, don't get
Um,
Red Swarm started,
Yeah,
man.
no, I mean, I'll be surprised if he's not a head coach in the next, handful of years if he doesn't land a head coaching gig somewhere.
yeah, I think, and so, but
Especially if this defense jumped from middle of the pack to top 10, it just may be after the 2026 season.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, they could, man. It definitely could. But yeah, I
Go ahead,
think
Will. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Broski.
no, no. If
Go
Will's
ahead,
got
Broski.
something to say, go ahead, man.
so no, I just, it's going to be interesting. And I like your question, Broski. Are they tied together? Um, but I also think that, uh, Dave Canales does like that style of defense. He said it multiple times. Of course,
Right.
you have to take some of that with a grain of salt. It is his team and his defense. He's not going to get on the podium and
Right.
says, "I hate this defense."
Right.
But
Right.
he seems to wax poetically about it. Um, and and Ejiro rarely ever has any like things on the blueprint, but I don't know if it was last year's blueprint from training camp or the year before that, where he was talking to the defensive lineman, and he said, "Don't tell me, I know what the f I'm doing." And he looked at, and I think he was talking to, I don't know who he was talking to. I don't, he was talking to Ashawn Robinson or somebody. He said, "You looking at
Yeah.
me like I don't like you. I know what the f I'm doing." Like, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, this is not something we see. We normally see him
yeah.
saying happy
I don't
birthday
remember that. I
to."
need to see that.
We normally look at him saying happy birthday to his wife, and you know, his, you know, thanking his
Yeah.
father-in-law for a great Christmas or something. You know, we don't see this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, before we move on, y'all do me a favor. The first fan poll, the chat poll is up in the bottom right corner. The question is, was Carolina 2023 defense better than fans remember? You can put in 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comment. It would generate into the poll. So 1 is yes, numbers prove it. 2, no, points matter more. 3, somewhat, and 4, need more context. So if you're at your computer, if you're able, please press 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comment, and we will let the poll excuse me, generate. Um, what's the next? Here it is. Gerald said, "Are you totally done with Cam Jackson?" We'll get to that. I'm gonna start at Gerald, and we'll come back to that. I want to catch up on some of these comments before we move forward. Frankie said we have the advantage of having 4 preseason games. Yeah, that's true. Definitely having an extra game, definitely gonna see a guys get a lot of work. You're gonna see a lot of these rookies, undrafted free agents, especially in the Hall of Fame game. And then you got 2 joint practices, I believe, with Houston and Jacksonville. So there's gonna be they're gonna get a lot of work this preseason, and I hope that we get a better picture for how things will be come the season. I know the defense and the offense is gonna be vanilla, but I just want to see some good things out of the young guys, give you hope that they can truly contribute to the team, especially some of the ones that we feel like can contribute immediately to the team. So that's what I want to see. Um Cole said, yes, hopefully Bryce finally gets better like he has a bit every year and the arrow keeps trending up. Okay, Cole. Dream 58 said, I'm a big supporter of drafting in the trenches early every year. That way you don't have to rely on just one guy. Hey, I I co-sign that 100%. I'm all about the trenches. I'm all about building from the inside out. You know what I'm saying?
That's what the
When you
smart
got a strong,
franchises do.
yeah, when you got a strong offensive line and a strong defensive line, it can solve a lot of problems for you. Definitely. Uh Frankie said Bryce is my biggest worry. Got you. Frank also said the tight end room is weak. Okay. Yeah, they not my favorite right now. I just think they can be we can get better production out of that room. They just average to me right now. Coach, I feel you. I'm not sure of him myself, but there's always a positive to a negative. And SC Panther Boy said, what's up, y'all? What's up, SC? Glad that you tapped in this morning like you do every morning. Glad to see you. All right. Cole said linebacker depth, though. Depth too. Yep. Spoke about that a few times on different podcasts, how I feel about the linebacker depth. Um, yeah. As he said, my guy low tone, good AM. Okay. What's up, SC? He said, I could not believe they hired Frank after he was fired from his last head coaching job. Yeah. Hey, everybody have a different of opinion on that. I'm not gonna jump into that. Frank Wright hire made me so mad. Got you. Cole, so even though he was a backup QB for us, should have known he wasn't worth it. Okay. I think some of these guys are having conversation in the chat that I'm not privy to. Uh Frankie said we do have a good head coach. I do. I believe Canales is solid. That's a good question. What? No, I said we're not talking about offense today. I got. I'm not.
I was
Yeah,
about to say,
it popped up, but no. We actually we're talking about Dave Canales tomorrow, so we can
I
definitely
was about
bring
to
that up
say,
tomorrow.
I thought he was later on in the week.
Yeah, no, he's tomorrow. He's tomorrow. Good morning, Be Wise 804 VA. Say good morning. I agree with both of y'all on that. Hey, appreciate you, Be Wise. Hey, I hope that you subscribe to the channel, turn that post notification bell. When you do select all, so you be made aware whenever I go live, which is each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. Charlie the Gamer said, good morning, Tony in chat. Good morning, Charlie. Appreciate you tapping in, my guy. Good to see you. And Charlie said, Ejiro's criticism is fair and he's doing a fair job proving critics wrong. I think he did that a lot last year when we saw that jump from 24 to 25, but I still don't think it was enough to silence all the critics. Because you still got some that feel like he needs to go. We need to do something different. Um, yeah, that's that's a lot of the conversation that's being had, still being had, even though we had that big jump. Um, as he said, we definitely need to draft linebackers and safety this upcoming draft. Yeah, that's definitely that's a fact. We need to improve that those two areas. Well, definitely linebacker. I think safety is good. I think safety is good, but definitely linebacker. I'll go there. Omar Tillman said, "I find it interesting the team is extending him without letting the public know. They knew it wouldn't be received well. That's facts. That's facts." And Charlie said, "Keep building draft capital too. I smell a trade, but I don't know who." Okay. As he said, glad Dave can focus on one job now too. He has been overworked since coming to Carolina, in my opinion, Tone. That's a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of looking at it. So tomorrow we are talking about Dave Canales. So definitely keep that question, that thought in mind. So we can tap into it tomorrow. But if you guys haven't voted for the fan poll, the chat poll, do that for me real quick. I'm gonna leave it up for about another minute. Press 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat, and the poll will generate for me, and we'll see what it is at the end. All right, fellas, we're gonna move on. If anybody have anything else about what we just talked about, if not, we can move on to the next topic.
Well, what's the next topic?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So we're gonna be talking about coaching, personnel, injuries, or all of it.
Okay.
Who was to blame? All right.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of get into that myself, like the personnel.
Yeah, but hold on, broski. So the facts are Panthers, Panthers.com credits multiple defenders with strong individual production on Evero, including J.C. Horn, Mike Jack, Xavier Woods, Ashawn Robinson, Josie Jewell, Trevin Wallace, Shaw Smith Wade, and Damani Richardson. But the football context says this is where it gets complicated. Individual development matters, but the full unit still has to function. A coordinator can help players improve and still have a defense that lacks pass rush, depth, health, or front seven consistency, right? So the debate question for Broski and Will, and Broski, you can go first this time, is if individual players improved under Evero, but the defense still had major issues, is that a coaching problem, a roster problem, or both? What say you, Broski?
Yeah, so I was gonna kind of give a little background on it before I got into my answer. I'll be quick though. It seems like after Brian Burns, Luvu left in 2023. So after that, it seems like that money was then spent a lot on the offensive line. Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt, and Taylor Moton, all those guys got paid on the offensive line. We're talking high dollar. Like even Moton, I mean, he's due to make like I think 21 million this year, 28 million next year. Right? They gave a running back Hubbard. They gave him a little contract for a running back. It seems like most of the draft picks. I mean, you got Excel, you got Tet, Jonathan Brooks, Trevor Etienne. They drafted Jimmy Horn Jr. They drafted Jatavion Sanders, Mitchell Evans. Obviously those are all picks on the offense. So what I'm getting at is I think that has been the focus in the offseason via free agency, via the draft, the prior two off seasons. Now this past offseason, they definitely got into the defense more. They definitely added to the defense. They signed Lloyd, they signed Phillips. They drafted a couple guys for the secondary in Will Lee and Zakee Wheatley. They drafted Lee Hunter. So, I think the focus has been primarily on the offense, prior to this offseason, money wise, signing wise, draft wise. And now I think this past offseason and draft, I think the defense was more of the primary focus.
Okay, Will.
So I agree with Broski primarily. The investments, it's like they got young. They took the money and invested other places, and they took draft capital and invested it other places in the offense. However, I think that's what kind of kept the defense muddling along. Now, my question is: are we talking about the off season this year? Can we add that into part of this conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that plays from 23 to 25 to the end. Yeah, all that plays.
Yes. So this off season, I mean, we went and invested heavily in edge rusher and signal caller for the offense, for the defense. We discussed how this defense is a defense that requires a lot of communication, a lot of people with a high football IQ to be able to run it. Well, you got to have a Mike linebacker that's going to be able to do that. So insert Devin Lloyd. And anybody who knows me knows that I am a Devin Lloyd fan. I've been screaming for him since the offseason. I knew that he was going to possibly be a cap casualty. And I was like, Devin Lloyd or bust. So with that being said, the investments are being made now, this offseason, that I think that this defense will make a significant jump, not from last to middle of the pack, but they could definitely go from middle of the pack to right outside the top 10. And if they do that, I believe that everything will be forgotten. That journey that took place because Evero stayed the course. And Dan Morgan was proven right. You remember Dan Morgan after the Falcon game in 2024, and he talked about the defense was really bad, but we did not give Ejiro Evero any of the talent necessary. He said that specifically in their outgoing press conference.
Right.
So they said that, and to Broski's point, they took Frankie Louvu wasn't cost us a lot of money in the beginning. We wanted to pay him money, but he wanted to go to Washington. They traded away Brian Burns because they wanted to invest in offensive line with Lewis and Hunt and other capabilities in draft capital and that type stuff. So I'm wondering if all will be forgotten at the end state. If they go from middle of the pack to right outside the top 10 to the top 10, I believe that outside of Lee Hunter, we have a top 7 front 7 outside of Lee Hunter. Right now, he's the wild card. So
right. Because we haven't seen anything from him yet. That what you're saying?
correct.
From an NFL level.
Right. That's what I'm saying, the wild card. Not that he can't do it or won't do it. He's an unknown commodity. He's a scratch-off ticket.
I like what you did there. So, I guess for me, like I understand where Broski was coming from as far as the investment that was made on the offensive side of the ball. But when you look at it, especially 2023, Bryce was a rookie that year. Just from an offensive perspective, real quick, there was a lot of things about the offense that needed to change. And definitely the first thing was the protection for your quarterback. I don't completely agree with him when it came to that, like all the draft picks and free agency was like geared towards, the offense, because let's remember after the 2024 season, when we drafted uh Tech in the first round, but then we went Nick Scorton, then Princely, Umami Yellen, two defensive ends, who I didn't see us taking two defensive ends back to back. I didn't even think either one of those players would be available to us, but luckily they fell to us where they did. I can't remember who else defensively was drafted that year. I had to pull up and look at it, but I can't remember. But I think there were some things that defensive from a defensive point of view that we were trying to address, but there were so many holes on both sides of the ball. So many holes, and that's from 2023 when you talk about um people leaving after Matt Rule was let loose, even people leaving the year that Frank Wright in 2023 at the end of that season. So there was a whole lot of turnover from the offensive and defensive side, and there's no way possible that you could have fill those holes in just one off season. Yeah. So 20 at the end of 2023, at the end of 2024, and now at the end of 2025, I I believe that we can admit that we have seen improvement with our draft picks. We have seen improvement with our free agency signings. And we even have hit on some undrafted free agents each year. Each year we have hit on at least one undrafted free agent that has made major contributions to this team. 2023, after that year, you're talking about Jalen Coker. At the end of 2024, you're talking about Corey Thornton. So,
Mhm.
whoever it be at the end of this year, I think a lot of people are starting to look at Aaron Hall, the defensive tackle that we got, that we signed, that came out of Duke. You know, there's a possibility that he can make the roster and hopefully the 53 and contribute on the defensive line. So yeah, there was more holes than we can account for after that 2023 season. And right now, since Dave Canales and Dan Morgan has taken over, this is the most stability that we've had as far as coaching. There's is the clearest direction that we have had as far as where we're trying to get to and how we're trying to build to get there. I don't think we have this level of clarity in a while. So hey, I tip my hat to those guys. They told us from day one what it was going to be. They said that it wasn't going to be something that can be done overnight. Is going to take time, and they're taking time to build it the right way. What's up, Omar? Appreciate you coming on to the panel, my guy. What's
No.
good?
Hey, I appreciate it. Will, Tony, what's going on with you fellas?
What's going on, my brother? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I've been listening, man. I'm about to head to the mountains in Tennessee, so I've been packing before my flight. I wanted to hop on before
Okay.
because Evero is a very fascinating topic because last thing I heard before I hopped on was what Will said about how Dan Morgan said we didn't set Evero up with the most talent, which I do remember that. He did say that for a fact. But what I
Yeah, I
think
remember
people
that.
forget is Evero has always had his choice of who he wanted to bring in. Just like my comment saying that from the Von Bells, the Jordan
Mhm.
Fullers, the Rose Booms,
Mhm.
all the guys, Nick Scotts,
Mm-hmm.
all the guys that are connected with
Ashawn
him in Denver,
Robinson.
Ashawn, all the guys that were connected with him in
Yeah.
LA or Denver, we did our best to bring them in. So that's why I push
Yeah.
back on that. Hey, we may have not gotten Evero the most talented guys, but we got Evero who he wanted. The only person that I say we did ever wrong was obviously trading Brian Burns. Anytime you lose a Brian Burns, it's going to change your whole
Mhm.
defense. So I understand that. But I feel like Evero has gotten whoever he wanted. My problem with Evero at times, and I think that's why Dave Canales is another factor he handed over play calling. Evero is stuck in his ways. Evero doesn't like to adjust. Evero has his scheme, and he thinks his scheme works no matter the personnel you have on the field, which we have seen that's just not true. Sometimes you may have to make an adjustment. Sometimes you have to look at who's out there on the field and realize, you know what, this isn't the best group of personnel for the type of scheme that I'm running. What can I do to change my system to help my players be in a better position? That's what I wish Evero did more of. I feel like sometimes he's just stuck, yo, this is my system. We're gonna put whoever's in there. If they can't play in my system, well, we'll just lose and forget about it. And I just wish he kind
Yeah.
of was more aware to say, you know what, I ain't got JC out there. I ain't got probably the best safety in the world. Let me change up this cover three look a little bit to try to help out. He did make some adjustments toward the later in the year when it came to blitzes. I saw more blitzes from JC, more blitzes from linebackers and stuff like that instead of just trying to get home with four. And so I give him credit for that. I just wish Evero had made some more adjustments when his personnel doesn't match or fit up to his scheme sometimes. I wish he made those adjustments because that's going to happen throughout the season with injuries. And so those are the little things that I wish Evero would make adjustments on. Like I said, I don't hate Evero, but my plan is I hope Evero gets balls out so he can get that head coaching job so that we can get the compensatory picks, but then he can also be gone. And then I already got our backup. You just promote Jonathan Cooley. He's been here since Frank Wright. So you just promote Jonathan
Well,
Cooley. He's somebody that the team already knows, and then you let him rock out at DC.
so let me hold on before I turn over to you, Will. Let me ask you a question, Omar, because what you just said is the very thing that I've heard a lot, on different podcasts and things like that. So Ivero took us from bottom of the barrel in 2024 to the middle of the pack in 2025, and if he increased that and we get top 10, does it really make good sense, business sense, to hope that he gets a head coaching job so you could bring somebody else in? And we don't know that it would be Jonathan Cooley. I would like for it to be
Yeah,
Jonathan
yeah, that's
Cooley
just
because
me.
he
Yeah, that's just
knows
who I would promote. Yeah.
this defensive system. But if he has made gradual improvement like that, um, wouldn't you want to keep him around
Well, here's
to
the
continue
thing.
to build off of that?
That's also a very good point, Tony. But you know this as well. The better you are as a team, the more NFL teams try to pluck your coaches. So I don't know how good are we going to be able. If we have a top 10 defense,
Right.
our offense, let's say maybe top 20s. Let's say we win a wild card game this year and we lose in the second round. At that point, that's back to back playoff appearances. That's ever with a top 16 defense in 2025 than a top defense this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we would like to keep him, but we can't stop Evero from promoting. We can only stop him from making a lateral move. So that's my whole thing is you have to, as much as you would like to keep him, you have to have in the back of your
Yeah.
mind a backup plan just in case he does leave, just in case he does get that head coaching job. So no, I'm not saying you go out there and you tell everybody, hey man, Evero's for sale. No, that's why they extended Evero. They obviously like him. But we got to be prepared as well that if we make another playoff push, some team may give Evero that chance. But he's a black head coach, or a black coach, so those are a little bit slimmer. Like imagine if Brad Isaac was the guy. Because I think we may have to start looking at Brad Isaac. If Brad Isaac comes out there and looks decent this year, some team may try to give him a little, hey, bring him in for an interview and
Yeah,
things of that nature. So I'm not saying get rid of Evero, but it's something that has to be at least thought about in that front office of, hey, if Evero is to get a head coaching job, which he's been interviewing for head coaching jobs for years, so it's not like it would be a surprise.
that's
Who
true.
who are you going
That's
to
true.
promote from within so that you don't change up
Right.
too much? That's all I'm
Hey,
thinking
hey,
about it.
hey,
I
Omar.
got you. I
Omar, I
got you.
got a question. I got a question
Yes,
for
sir.
Omar. I know you get ready to catch your flight.
Oh no, you good, you good.
Okay, so when you said that he brought in who he want, that's true. However, those were people that were available for a reason. So
I'll
they
give you that. They were
picked who
veterans.
who
Yeah.
they were veterans. They were available for a reason, right? Um, However, this season they when they went into free agency, they went and got Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips. It's not connected to Evero at all. they actually went in and truly invested money in the defense, like they did with the offensive line in the 2024 season. So I get what you're saying. People say, "Oh, he brought in who he wanted." They were who he wanted. They fit his scheme, but they weren't the biggest investments.
Yeah, not the most talented. Yeah, they weren't the best at their
Right,
positions like
right,
Devin Lloyd and Jalen
right,
Phillips were this free agency. No,
right,
I completely agree with that. But that's what I think, and that's why I say, okay, if you will, like I said, you about to go somewhere, you about to go to war, you need some guys that you know who they are, dependable. You're going to take your dependable guys so that you can at least say, hey, I know what I can get out of Rose Boom. I know what I can get out of Ashawn. I know what Nick Scott brings. It's like a comfort thing. And so I think he got those guys because he was still implementing his system. At this point, this is the 2024 season when we bring in Jordan Fuller. So this is really year number two. And so you're still trying to bring in some comfort so that you can still teach your scheme to the rest of the team. You know what I'm saying? At this point now, going into year four, everybody in that defensive room should know Evero's scheme, except the rookies and young guys. But like the JCs, DBs, all them type of guys, they should know that scheme like the back of their hand because they've been in it for 4 years. So I think what they did when bringing those guys in early is just have, I'm gonna bring in some of my guys so that they can be communicators on the field for me to make sure everybody else is lined up. And I felt like at times there was no. I think about that very first Saints game, Dave Canales' first year when we was just getting bombed over the top because JC and the safety they weren't communicating at all. And so that's why I'm like, dang, you bring in
hmm
guys that's supposed to be know your system, supposed to be communicators on the field, and then it just wasn't translating at times on the field. And so I think that's why the
right.
Evero criticisms were loud. And like I said, I never officially wanted to get rid of him. I thought I was hoping he would get that Raiders job, even though I know he probably wouldn't. Um, I wouldn't say they were available because they trash, because all those guys are available now and they all got picked up on another team. He maybe except Jordan
Yeah.
Fuller, but Ashawn got another job. Nick Scott got another job in Carolina somehow. Um, Roseboom just went to Tampa. So it's like, even though those guys may quote unquote be trash, they are serviceable enough guys in the NFL where they keep finding a job.
Well,
Yeah.
you didn't have
I
to
don't
bring up
think.
that Saints game. You didn't have to bring up that I was at that
Oh, that was
game.
hard. That was hard to start the
Yeah.
season,
Oh,
Will. That's
oh
heartbreaking.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Ashawn Robinson is trash at all. When
Oh
Derek
shit! I
Brown
keep
got
saying
hurt and
Roseboom. I forgot Josie Jewell. I forgot all about Jewell. We
yeah,
brought in Josie from
when
Denver.
But
hold on,
Josie
Omar.
Jewell was good.
When Derek Brown was hurt and he was out, Ashawn Robinson held it down for him. So I always got to give much love and respect to Ashawn. I mean, he did what he could, and didn't really have any help on the defensive line that year. But real quick before I ask my next question, because I wanted to get Will thought on. I don't think we tapped into that yet. But hey, if you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the conversation, the debate, if you're enjoying the vibe, please show support to the show. I said I wasn't gonna put no goal, no stipulation, nothing like that. But I got a little small goal. Each day I'm just trying to get $25. $25 just to show support for the show. I don't think that's asking much. For you guys. So if you scan that QR code at the top right, it'll take you to the PayPal link. Donate what you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Um, Super chat, things like that. If you're watching on the Carolina Armchair GM CJ channel, he could take super chats and things like that over on that side. If anybody want to do super chats, I'm not there yet, but you could definitely support the channel by doing that. And I think the link is at the bottom as well to the PayPal. So yeah, support the channel if you're enjoying and loving the content. Let me just catch up. So Will, I'm gonna ask you the question, but then I'm gonna read some of these comments first. But because Omar brought up a point about Evero getting another head coaching job and we getting compensatory picks and hopefully we can elevate someone like Cooley to the defensive coordinator position. I want to know how you feel about that. but let me just read some of these chats real quick. Eternal said, "Well, Will just said they was available because they was trash. No need for euphemisms." Okay. Uh, let's see. SC said, "Oh, he talking to J Hudge. EJ picked all average, almost below average players for his scheme. Roseboom, Josie, and all those other Jags like Smitty called them third and fourth stringers." Uh, Charlie said Fuller was ass. Yeah, he definitely wasn't good. Not for us, no way. Um, Earl Lockley said, "I'm good, Red." Okay. Charlie the Gamer. Charlie said Rose Boom is a good free agent. He'll keep a starting rotational job. He also said same with Ashawn. And Eternal said I'm talking about Jordan Fuller. Okay. J Hud said Ashawn Robinson did his thing and they haven't replaced him adequately yet. I agree. I agree. And a lot of people feel like Lee Hunter is that dude. So like I've been saying, I got to see it first, especially coming from him. Uh, Eternal also said even trash get recycled in the NFL. Okay, 252 on one this morning. Driver said, "What it do, Tony Will? What it do, driver? Hey, hit the panel, man. If you want to come up and holler at your boy and enjoying the conversation, hit that panel. Let me drop the link again because I know I haven't dropped it in a minute, and it probably has gotten lost in all the comments. So I dropped the link again if anybody wants to hit the panel and let's see." SC say 25 okay, easy go. Why not, sir? Hey, hey, it's up there, man. It's up there. It takes a lot to run this channel, and I just feel like the good quality of the conversation and everything I'm trying to bring to you guys 5 days a week. Little little $25 donation, won't hurt nobody. All right. So Will, back to you. And what do you think about what Omar was talking about as far as hoping that Evero elevates even further so that way we can replace him and get the compensatory picks and hopefully promote within like someone like Jonathan Cooley. And on top of that, do you feel like the compensatory picks is even worth uh uh getting if Evero gets a head coaching job?
So I was about to say that. So I, of
I know
course,
you
y'all
were.
know I know I'm a delusional fan. So let's say we become a top 10 defense. And I mean our defense is balling this season. I don't want him to go nowhere. The hell with that third round pick. I don't know
But you
Cooley.
can't control that, Will.
I know that. I'm saying I wouldn't want him to go anywhere. To hell with that third round pick. Now, if it he wants to be a head coach, like Fangio don't want to be a head coach. But I mean, I would want to give Cooley a shot because Cooley seems to be the guy, the heir apparent on as a defensive coordinator. So yeah, I would want to have Cooley. And you're right, I can't stop him, and I wouldn't want to stop him if he wanted to be a head coach. But me as a fan, I would want to keep my coordinator if I could.
I
Um,
think
um, but me being a loose, think about it like this: if we got to a top 10 defense, we got to a top 10 defense. What would that defense look like the second year with the same run it with the same talent and the
That's a
same
good
defense
question.
coordinator? Woo, woo, woo.
I mean, you shouldn't drop off because you got Cooley there in theory. And like I said, this is all in theory that Cooley gets promoted because that makes the most sense because he's already within. and he's also been there 4 years. And like you said, Evero definitely wants to be a head coach. He interviewed for our head coaching job. Never forget that. He interviewed against Frank Wright. He's been trying to become a head coach since 2023. So he wants to be a head coach, or he
That's
at least wants
facts.
to get the opportunity to be a head coach. Even if he flames out the first time and then he just becomes a lifelong defensive coordinator, I think that's what his trajectory is. One time coach, if it doesn't fail out, you'll probably just be a career DC. But
Yeah.
I look at it like this here, Will. I know you guys remember this. After the Super Bowl, McDermott goes to goddamn to Buffalo. We promote Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes ended up flipping that into goddamn Arizona. And do anybody remember who we were left with? I believe his name was Eric Washington.
Yeah,
Eric
Eric
Washington was a D
Washington.
line
Right.
coach who now got thrown into defensive coordinator's duty because you just lost coordinators back to back. Because when your team is good, teams pluck from you. It's just the nature of the business. And so I just don't want to be in a position where we getting plucked from and we don't have no in-house talent to promote unless you're going to go out there and hire somebody else. Because you got to remember, I think Ron Rivera had to take back defensive play calling duties from Eric Washington just because it wasn't good. And then we ain't never heard of Eric Washington again.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
maybe
That's
Al
true.
Holcomb got it one time. Like once Ron got fired and we had the Perry dude as the intern. I think Al Holcomb got it as the defensive coordinator for a little bit. Like that's all I'm saying is like, hey, if we're gonna be as good of a defense as we think we are, people are gonna look at Evero. It's just a matter of which team is gonna give Evero that head coaching opportunity because he's gonna get it one day or the other. And so it may not be this year with a top 10 tier in defense. So we may be able to run it back again because we can stop him from leaving for a lateral position. So the only way he can leave is if he gets hired as a head coach. So there's a possibility that doesn't happen, and then we run it back with another top 10 defense, like you said, Will. And we're going into the at that point that'd be the 2027-2028 season, running it back with Evero.
Yeah, hold that thought real quick, Will. If you're gonna respond, shout out SC Panther Boy for that $25 super gift through PayPal. Hey, I appreciate you, my guy. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you for the $25 gift, and yeah, definitely appreciate you. And also, I wanted to shout out Red Fine Bomb, aka Blue Falcon. All right, what's up with your Red? What's going on with your Greek? Just wanted to show you love, give you a shout out. You know I have to throw that in there each and every time I see you. All right. Um, Will did you want to respond to Omar?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Omar's side on this. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
okay. Okay.
yeah, I'm on Omar. I'm on Omar's side. I'm just saying, like, from a delusional fan perspective, if we a
Yeah.
top 10 defense, do I want Evero or a third round pick? I want Evero.
And
I
I
would
can't be
if I
Mm.
had
behind.
to pick between the two. If I had to pick between the two, I want Evero, not the third round pick. The third
Well,
round pick is a
let me
cancellation prize. Right.
yeah. Let me ask you guys this question. Does continuity matters? Meaning
Yes.
Yes.
the continuity that we have since Dave Canales and Dan Morgan has been here. We've been in the same offense, the same defense, with the same coordinators. Now, granted, Canales is giving play calling duties to Brad Isaac this year, but it's still going to be based off the same offense. So there's not going to be a whole lot of change to it for the guys. So even like back to what you were saying, Omar. Yes, it is true. Evero definitely has been interviewing for head coaching positions ever since he's been with the Panthers. I think David Tepper understands his value. That's why he kept him on and made him available for Canales when he took over the head coaching position. Um, Even though teams may come looking, and this is just a thought. I don't care either way, or I'm not suggesting anything, one way or the other. But let's not forget, just because a team come calling, that don't mean he's gonna leave, because he's gonna want the right team, the right fit. when you talking about dealing with the ownership and the upper brass of the team. Um, he may be comfortable with Carolina and don't want to leave. You know, hell, Tepper may up his pay. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Like I
It's
get
very
what
true.
you're saying, but I'm just saying that there can also be other options available to him, and to the fact that he just may want to stay in Carolina and see this through. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't got to go and reteach a defense to a new team and a different set of players. Even though the head coaching position is a coveted position, in the league, there's only 32, and if I was him, I definitely would be looking at it. But just like Ben Johnson, and no, he's not African American, but when they really wanted him that first year, he turned down everybody till the job came available that he was interested in. They had a lot of cap money under the salary cap. They had a lot of draft picks, and he utilized that. So it may be one of those, it may be a situation like that. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that if if any job comes available, that that he can jump, that he'd be willing to jump at said position. That's all.
No,
What
yeah,
you
that
guys
makes
think?
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you said, we
Yeah.
don't know how desperate he is because, like you, and for your Ben
Right.
Johnson's case, like you said, different race. Plus, that was his first true head coaching cycle. Evero had been out there.
Yeah.
Evero had been rejected, and so he may just be grateful for any team, regardless of the situation. And so just to say, so we'll see how desperate he is if a team, because my thing is I also wonder if it turns out that he turned and rejected a job, they may try to use that as dirt on his name. Oh, well, I offered him the job and he turned us down. So, he'll never get another shot in this league again. That's how
Right.
that's how the NFL works. That's the politics of that sport. And so
Anything is possible.
yeah,
Anything is possible.
I would hate for something like that to happen if he does do what you say, try to, take a certain advantage. Say, you know what, I think I got leverage. I like what we're doing here in Carolina. I don't want to go to, insert bad team there. I'll wait until there's a better opportunity. All right. That's when they start calling you boy. They be like, all right, boy. And then he may just never get an opportunity again. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, catch up on some of these chats before we go to our final topic. I think I just had it. Okay. Yeah, Eternal said if Evero get us top 10, then Tepper better slide him 5 million in hush money to stay. Yeah, I don't think it has to be hush money because what we pay coaches don't affect the salary cap, so he can pay Vera whatever he needs to pay him to keep him if he wants him here, if he wants him to remain in Carolina. Charlie said it's strange to want your defense coordinator gone when he's done a lot more good than bad with his resume. I'm with you when you right, Charlie. Hey, like I said, I got
Charlie
my
Gleamer.
feelings about yeah, I got my feelings about Evero. Don't get me wrong, especially when we talk about third down defense. As you can see, 2024 and 25, it has not gotten better. Yeah, it has not gotten better. 32nd and 31st in the league. And I think we've all witnessed what that looked like with our eyes watching the game last year and the year before last. Um, Charlie also said, and if Dave wasn't lying, he locked into the DC spot for years. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. 2026 is definitely going to tell a lot. Definitely going to tell a lot. SC said, I'll take those picks for EJ if it's a linebacker or safety that pans out like Coker and uh, Corey Thornton did so far. I don't know why people still want a safety. I think we're good right now in the safety room. Well, what y'all got? That's a good question. What
They
what
want
what
that
you think,
free.
Omar?
They want that that kind of ball hawking safety. I think it's because we have
Okay,
thumpers. More as a
well
thumper
you
in theory.
well we
Ransom.
just drafted Zakie Weekly.
Yeah,
We just drafted
I think we
Zakee
got
Wheatley.
competition in. They putting up talking about
Yeah.
moving Charles Smith Wade to the safety. So we got competition in the safety room. I think we got to let them
Yeah.
play
Don't
first.
forget Isaiah Simmons is back there at safety.
That's true.
He's trained at safety. So I think we got some competition. You know, shake as I say, shake a little honey from the tree, and we'll see. I think we'll be better off
They
this
looking for
year
that
than we
Jesse
have in
Bates.
years prior. Huh?
They're looking for that Jesse Bates.
Oh, yeah. But that
That's what they're
definitely
looking
would be a good person to have.
right.
Let's see. Eternal said Brian Flores got a scandal going on. Bring him here. Yeah, I don't think we want Brian Flores as much as I would love to have him. Yeah, he can keep that scandal. Yeah, they can keep all that. SC said I don't think top 10 defense want to be solely because of EJ alone, so he can definitely go for me. All right, SC. All right. J Hudge 1246 said, why y'all saying ifs and mights? Evero was a finalist for the Raiders job this season. What do you think happens if the defense is top 10? Well, the reality of it, in my opinion, I think he's probably gone, but that don't mean I don't want him to stay. You know, if we top 10 somewhere we haven't been in a while, and I'm not just talking about total defense, I'm talking about top 10 in most of the categories, in most of the statistical categories, like we were in, like not we, but like Evero defense was in Denver. You know, downs that matter, especially not red zone defense, but third down defense. You know, and if we middle in the pack with third down defense, and you know the rest of the defense is steadily evolving and getting better. Yeah, I don't want that coach to go. Why would I? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Um, Broski said continuity of the coaching staff makes it a more attractive landing spot for potential free agents. Absolutely, absolutely. SC said, "Hey William, them Tech white jerseys are still on sale on Fanatics till July 8th. It's just not the
Oh, they
stitched
are?
one, though, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm about to
Well,
go right now. Go right. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know what the hell just happened. What's going on? What y'all talking about?
Hey, well, I've been trying to find a McMillan white jersey.
Uh huh.
Couldn't find it. He said they on Fanatic. I'm about to go on the website now while they still in stock. Thank you, bro.
All right. No, he said on lids. My bad. He says on lids.
Lids. Okay, on my way.
Yeah. Yeah. Damo Smith said, "Don't want Evero to end up like Wilkes." Facts. I don't want to see that either. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Damo. I'm glad you brought that up because I think when you talk about African American head coaches or potential head coaches, you have to be very careful, very very careful on what organization that you choose to take over, especially if it's somebody that finished bottom two or bottom three in a league and they don't have a franchise quarterback in waiting, and there's a lot more building to the team than just, bringing in a new defensive scheme, bringing in a new offensive coordinator. Um, I don't want him to be in a position to where he gets the raw end of the deal. We've seen that a lot in the league when it comes to black head coaches. And yeah, I do not want to see that for Evero. I don't want to see that for anybody, black or white, but especially African American head coaches. You definitely see where they get less time to change the culture, change the team around, and they get it good enough to a point where somebody else comes in and take over. But yeah, I don't want to see that neither, Damo. E-Rock, what's up, E-Rock? He said, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you, my guy. Excuse me. Milo the Great 13. He gonna kill me for that. Milo said, if Evero gets us a top 10 defense and leaves, it's some of his credit, but more so on the talent we have, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it could be looked at that way as well. Hey Milo, hey, hit the link, man, if you want to come up on the panel. I don't know if it's still visible in the chat. But let me know if you want to come up on the panel, man. You can't see the link. Let me know and I'll drop it again. E-Rock, I can't believe ESPN got us 24th on preseason rankings. Hey, no respect. No respect. Rollmaster said, I think we're good all over the defense. Okay, Rollmaster. Hey, appreciate you being here, my guy. Tap in. Hey, if you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell. When you do, select all. That way you will be alerted each and every morning that I go live. That's Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. And if you haven't subscribed to Carolina Armchair GM CJ channel, do so. We both would greatly appreciate that as well. I think he's 8 subscribers away from reaching 2,000. So we're trying to get him to that goal as quick as possible. So yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button on both pages. And my page is Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk. And if you haven't, support the show. The QR code is at the top right corner on the screen. You can scan that and donate to the show, whatever your heart desires. Just trying to bring good vibe, good conversation, debate, all that to you each and every morning. Okay. Said Milo said, if we losing coaches because we are good, then it will be easier to replace them for that same reason. Yeah, but just like I just mentioned, and like Broski said, and basically Omar and Will agree that continuity is everything. And I think um David Tepper would try to do whatever he can to keep Evero as the defensive coordinator. If that means a bump in pay, then so be it. I think he's willing to do that. So yeah, I think he thinks highly of Evero. Ronnie Young said, "What's good, Ronnie? Hey, thank you for tapping in this morning." He said they're definitely sleeping on Nick Scott leadership position and Evero's confidence in him. That's a fact. That's a fact. Nick Scott played better last year. I have to give him credit. He played better last year than the previous year. So, hey, give credit where credit is due. But to a lot of Panther fans, that's still not enough. They still want to see him gone. I want to see him build on what he did last year, if he can.
Go Nick Scott.
Go Nick. Terrence Tate 4160 said Isaiah should have stayed as a linebacker. Okay, why you say that, Terrence? Because I think the proof was kind of in the pudding that he wasn't as good as a linebacker in the NFL than he was when he was at Clemson. And let's remember that when he first came to Clemson, he came to Clemson as a safety. And I think that he welcomed the change when Dave Canales said that he will be training back at safety this year. I think he likes that. I think that's more of a natural position for him. You could definitely use his length, his height, and definitely his speed in that secondary. And you can do different things with him. He could be a bigger version of Trayvon Moore, you know. So I definitely can't wait to see how he's schemed up in this defense, and I hope he plays a little bit more than just on special teams because I think he can. I think he can contribute, but at the linebacker position, I think that ship has already sailed. What you think, Will? What you think about that? Or
The
you
ship
on
has
Liz
sailed
right
on
now?
who? No. The ship has sailed
Isaiah
on who?
on
Right.
Isaiah Simmons playing linebacker.
Yeah, I think it's sailed. I think safety is where it's going to be for him. Um, do you think he's a free safety or a strong safety though?
Well, he definitely listen. He definitely got the speed to play free safety. I don't think there's nobody in the back end that has more speed than Isaiah Simmons. I think when he at the combine when he came out, he ran like a 4.37, 4.35, something
God
like that.
bless.
Like yeah, he got crazy speed. He got crazy speed. He's long. He got the size. Yeah,
Hmm.
I could see him being a freak of nature back there at the free safety spot. I think the decision to um play him at just one position, and let him focus on that and train on that, um, I think is beneficial for him. Even though he has the size to play linebacker, Isaiah Simmons never really moved me when it came to linebacker play. When it came to like coming downhill, plugging the hole, or even his tackling, like
Hmm.
he's not a pull the pin type of a linebacker. And what I mean, like when he arrives to the ball carrier, it don't make you go boom. You know what I'm saying? He don't bring that thunder. But as a safety, oh yeah, I could see him. I could definitely see him playing safety. Yeah, I could definitely see him playing safety. Um yeah, yeah. You already commented on that, didn't you, Will?
Yeah. So yeah, I
Okay.
think him focusing in on safety is going to be, I think, is the best move for him
Yeah.
and for our team. But and I don't know if you're going to get into this, but within that linebacker, and I don't think that we have the depth we need at linebacker or interior defensive lineman. So the spine of that defense still concerns me. It still concerns me.
Talk about it.
So
Talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. SC said it's on Liz too, William. So I think it was on Fanatics and Liz. I think it was on
I already done
Fanatics
ordered
and Liz.
mine. I done ordered. I done added my promo code in there. It's already on its way. So when you was up there, oh, you probably on Liz. That's already been completed, sir.
Already.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Roadmaster.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, Roadmaster said we have the players, but Evero's scheme is trash. I can't say that, Roadmaster. I think he proved last year that the scheme is not trash. Yeah, yeah. I don't for me, so if I didn't say it yesterday, let me say it now. I think it was more of the lack of talent than the scheme. Um, is there instances in his play calling that I wish that he would do a better job at? Absolutely, I do, especially on third down. I think that's the most obvious. Um, so yeah, I definitely think the talent had to do with the most part of the outcome when we're talking about from a defensive scheme standpoint. I'm not gonna solely put it just on the scheme because the scheme was the same in 2024 as it was in 2025, and we saw the big jump that we took, and now I feel like we've added even more better pieces to the defense. So hopefully that will continue to grow. All right. So I'm gonna get into this third topic, Will, and the third topic is Evero's camp proof test. All right. So let's stop talking in circles and put a proof test on the table. So here are the facts. Evero remains Carolina defensive coordinator on the Panthers' current coaching staff, and the team is moving forward toward training camp with the rookies scheduled to report on the 21st and the veterans on the 22nd at the bank. All right. So the football context is this is where the talk has to turn into proof. Carolina needs a defense that can set edges, stop the run, affect the quarterback, communicate in the back end, and win situational downs. That is the difference between a defense that survives and a defense that helps dictate games. So, Will, the debate question is: I ain't gonna say it's debate because we ain't really debating between you and I. So the question is, what is the first thing Evero defense must prove in camp? Is it the pass rush, the run defense, linebacker fits, secondary communication, or red zone toughness? What say you?
Pass rush. Then
Mhm.
the pass rush. They got to prove it. That has been that was some affecting the quarterback was our biggest problem on third down efficiencies. I think, of course, there could have been rundowns, but third down efficiencies, getting us off the field. Linebacker fit comes in second for me because I want to be able to see how we're how Devin Lloyd is able to control the front seven and communicate to the back half. He says
Yeah.
that it was a very similar system. It was a very similar system for him. Now the back half of our defense, we have our four starters are coming back. You got our two corners. You got Nick Scott and you got Trayvon Morig and you got Latham Ransom. So
Right.
I'm not concerned on the back half of the defense. They just got to pick up the communication that they had from last season. But pass rush number one, linebacker fit to be able to control the front seven and communicate to the back half is what I want to see in training camp. And it sucks that we can't be there for training camp, man. God bless. Oh, I would have took
Yeah.
me some time off of work. I'd have been there every day with my bucket hat on and shades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? Nick Gaskins,
What's
aka the
good?
Prowling Veteran. What's happening with you, brother?
What's good?
What's
What's
going
good?
on?
Goddamn, over there looking like Jack Swole.
Hey, 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 Nate. Hey, Nate.
What's up?
I just finished my run this morning. I hope you still on the track burning it up, dog.
Oh, I don't. Oh, so I don't run. I ain't run in a long time, but I cycle.
Oh, you cycle. Yeah,
Oh,
my
okay.
wife likes to cycle. I'm sorry. No,
Yeah.
I ain't mean to change the topic, Tony. My bad.
Nah, you good. You good. Talk
I
to me, Nick. Did you listen to the question, to the debate question?
no. I just popped in, man. I've been busy this morning. I had to drop my
All
son off.
right. Okay, so the question was, what is the first thing Evero's defense must prove in camp? Is it the pass rush, run defense, linebacker fits, secondary communication, or red zone toughness? What say you?
Ooh. Ah, this
Let me
one's
find. Let me find out. I got Nick stumped. He's stumped.
so it's gonna be the front seven, but I'm gonna say linebacker communication because that's gonna be because we've the defense
That's not an
as
option, sir. That's not an option.
I
Linebacker
said
fits or secondary communication. What you talking about?
I said so linebacker fit. It's going to be
Yeah.
linebacker fit
Okay.
because we've statistically, if you actually look at where we struggled at in defensive wise, it was the linebacker core 100% more than anybody else on the field. I think that we have good pieces at the cornerback and safety. I mean, I'm gonna say we have. I'm gonna say we have pieces that we can say, okay, this is okay. I ain't gonna say. I know people get touchy when you say Nick Scott. Nick Scott, Nick Scott. I know that people have whole daggone aneurysm when you bring that dude's name up. But he plays well enough. He plays well enough to that we could be a successful defense if we get stronger over the middle of the field, which is going to be your linebacker. Your linebacker. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, we all know Josie Jewell could have been right beside the dude who caught the ball. He won't go stop it. Not Josie Jewell.
Yeah.
Rose Boone. Rose Boone could have been right beside that mug.
Yeah.
He ain't about to put his hand in there to stop that dude from catching the ball. So I'm gonna say
Who is
100% say his linebacker fit.
who is T Cole calling Drew Carey? Who was that? He said Drew Carey in the building. Who? Hey, Tico, you gotta let me know who you calling.
Yeah, I know you ain't calling
Drew
me no
Carey.
goddamn Drew Carey.
Yeah, ain't calling Drew Carey.
Milo the Great. What's going on, my guy?
I caught that. I caught that straight. I caught
You just gonna roll with? You gonna just roll with the name?
Hey, no,
Yeah, I caught that.
he got the name because I messed up his name one day.
I know.
And you know how
I know.
SC.
I remember. I was there when
Okay.
you. I was
Yeah,
there when you
you
messed
know
up
how
his name.
SC do. SC gonna pump it up. So it kind of stuck.
Yeah,
What's
come
up,
in,
Mello? What's good
PPP.
with you, my guy?
No, much. How y'all doing?
Oh, we good, man. We good. Hey, give us your thought and opinion on the debate question. Do you remember what it is?
Nah, you can ask me again.
Okay. So it said, what is the first thing Evero defense must prove in camp? Is it the pass rush, run defense, linebacker fits, secondary communication, or red zone toughness? What say you?
I would say more so the run defense because that's where we struggled year after year under Evero. We
Mm,
haven't had a good run
mm,
defense. We're not able to
okay.
control or take control of any games if you can't stop the run. Like we're really strong against the
Okay.
pass. So a lot of teams they'll change they're a passing team. They'll change. We've seen teams change up their game plan. Like okay, we're gonna run a little more this game because they got a really strong secondary, and they know we've been week up front and stopping the run. So I would say the run defense. You gotta
Okay.
really gotta take a big step in that department.
Can I
So
debate that?
so hold on one second, Nick. Yeah, you can go next right after this. So the Russian defense has okay, 2023, we were ranked 23rd. We was ranked dead last in 2024, and then we came up and we were ranked 20th. So I would say we have made some improvement in the run game. It definitely could be better, I would say. But right now, just looking at the season as a whole last year, I would take me personally, I would take pass rush over the run defense. Me. What you say, Nick? What you got?
Oh, you already said it.
Oh,
you,
my
you said exactly what I was about to say about
Pass
the run
rush.
defense. The run defense they
yeah.
got a little bit better from the year prior to this year. So you already said it. So I just say, but I understand because you know what? If I don't pick the linebackers, the next obvious choice is going to be pass rush.
Great
Yeah.
minds think alike. I had pass rush, then linebacker fit was my in that order. Cause we got four returning back half guys. Jason
Right.
Horn, Mike Jack, Trayvon Morrick, and Nick Scott. We got four returning guys.
Yeah.
So
But you
We
know what?
we got the secondary. I'm not worried about the secondary at all, but I want to see him use the secondary more. Like play him a little closer, play a little more man, put more pressure on the wide receivers, and make
right.
that'll help your pass rush. Honestly, if you play more aggressive with your secondary,
I
you know
bet
what I
you
mean?
this. No, actually, I'm gonna say this, Mello. It's the opposite way
What's up?
around. Your pass rush will allow you to play up. Your pass rush, because if you can get there with 4, that allows you to do other
That's the
things
problem.
with
We
your
can't get there
cornerback.
before.
But that's the thing about it is what we got to hope for is that we can get there with 4. Well, realistically, I'm gonna say this right now. We just need to be able to get consistent pressure with 4. If you can get a quarterback off his spot, you can also force a quarterback to do something stupid.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do
And
believe our pass rush
that
will be better
go
this
ahead,
year.
Melo. Go ahead, Melo.
I was just talking about previous
Hey,
previous season and last season. Like if you
hey Tony.
had you use the secondary a little more aggressive, that might have helped the pass rush. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Will. What you
But
gonna
I do
say?
think our pass rush is better this year.
Hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna be going on mute here for a few minutes. I got a quick 15-minute sync meeting that I'm gonna hit, and then I'll be back to you if you're still on. But I'm just gonna be going on mute. My bad.
All right, man, no problem. Go ahead, Mel. I think you were still talking.
No, I finished up. I was just saying, I think the pass rush should be a little better this year.
Okay. All right. So do you feel like the run defense has created better down and distance last year? Nick, what you think?
I do believe we did because I don't feel like we gave up a lot of. I don't think we conceded to a lot of running backs except for a couple.
Like who? I can't remember nobody really running wild
What
on us
y'all got
last
our
year.
ass? Cook got our ass.
Oh yeah.
James Cook got us.
Yeah, how can I forget?
Yeah. James Cook
And
got
the Patriots got us too, didn't they?
Yep, the Patriots got us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Dijon didn't go crazy, but he had like 70, 80 yards.
The teams that we got, the score was lopsided against, those are the teams that actually was able to run the ball on us.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You control the run game.
Yeah.
Those games be different. You make people pass a little more against playing our strength, our pass defense.
Yeah, and then
game.
And if you actually look at the Rams were running pretty effectively against us. The only thing that stopped that is that I think Kyron Williams had a come to Jesus moment when freaking let the rest and tried to take his head off.
Yeah, because honestly, the Rams were moving the ball up and down the field on us, and that's just facts. It seemed like every possession they had, they were moving the ball up and down the field at will. But it was like, in that first game, we outscored them. There were some key stops. That game could have gotten out of hand if it wasn't for the defense, to be honest. But when they wanted to move the ball up and down the field, I feel like they did, and they did that in the second game as well. They came out and jumped on our head in the playoffs.
Look, Tony, look what he did when he figured out he couldn't pass on the outside on Mike Jack and what's it called. He started throwing the ball over the middle of the field.
Right, yeah,
You remember Puka Nacua was on in both games. Puka Nacua was on the outside majority of the time. But that second game, you remember, he moved him at the second half. He moved him on the inside, and it showed our weakness. I mean, literally, yeah. I mean, but I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, I do think that the run defense obviously could be better. I mean, if we could get into the top 15 for run defense, that would be great. But I think the most improvement that needs to be made is, just like you said, is probably the pass rush. That's going to be the best improvement that has to be made. You got to pick it up. And I ain't even going. I'm not one of those people who say a player has to get 10 sacks to justify the money that we gave him. I'm more to say this. I need to see consistent pressure, moving quarterbacks off of their spot, and making quarterbacks make bad decisions. Because the thing people don't realize is that playing the way that they do in the zone for the cornerback, they are facing the quarterback. So that means when he decides to go and make a errant throw, they have ample opportunity to jump that route.
Right. So if you say pass rush, then tell me who has to win. Who has to win in order for that pass rush to be effective on a consistent basis?
I think what has to happen is Jalen Phillips has to force people to double team him.
Okay.
And I believe if Jalen Phillips, because I ain't gonna say he has to get the sack, because if he forces you to have to double team him it is going to be holy hell up the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Because
I
you know right now, if you decide that you got to double team Jalen Phillips and you leave Big Grizzly by himself, whoever's in front of him gonna get tossed like a little kid.
Yeah. So Eternal said QBs can throw 40 yards off their back foot, paying 120 million. We need sack pressure. Don't mean the pass won't be completed. What you say about what Eternal just said? Milo.
QBs can throw 40 yards off the back foot. Bang, 120 million. We need sack pressure. Pass won't be completed. He's saying, I'm not sure if I understand. He said we need sack pressure. So is he saying pressure don't mean nothing? They can still complete the pass? Is that what he's saying?
I think that's what he's saying. Hey, let us know in the chat, Eternal, what you're saying right there. But yeah, that's what it sounds like.
We
QBs
need
can throw
sack
40
pressure.
yards.
Don't mean the pass. Oh, I see what he's saying. He said we need sack, definite sacks, and the pressure really can still mean the pass will get completed.
With pressure comes sacks. So
yeah, I mean,
you got to get enough pressures to increase the volume of sacks. Yeah.
If you don't,
okay, so I got a question.
Well, people don't realize that we were almost dead last. Go ahead.
Hold on, Nick. Go ahead, Mello. Go ahead and finish your
So
thought.
like the press, like the NFL pressure stat, is that like the actual definition like of the stat? Like is that like a negative play, like an incomplete pass caused by the defender being like within a certain range of the quarterback? I'm not sure.
I think the NFL look at pressures as getting within getting into a certain vicinity of the quarterback, being causing him to maybe move off his spot, hold the ball longer, or things of that nature. You know, anything that takes him out of rhythm or get close to what could potentially be a sack. Like if you swipe at him and you just barely miss, you didn't get the sack, but you created pressure.
Okay, so does it count for completed passes? Like if he gets close and the guy just completes the pass, does that not count as pressure?
Yeah, it don't matter whether the pass was completed or not. Did you apply pressure?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
So the thing about it, I get what Eternal's saying. Yeah, this is I think people get enamored by the sexy stat, i.e. getting the sack. At the end of the day, what Jalen Phillips brings to the table is chasing quarterbacks off their spot. And usually he won't get the sack, but he usually chases quarterbacks into other people. So at the end of the day, he also is known for swiping at quarterbacks' arms when they get ready to unload, and the ball will go straight up in the air. He's known for getting his hands on quarterbacks, but not completing the. If you get your hands on the quarterback and you force a quarterback to say, "Oh, I got to run up the middle," then there's a chance that there's going to be somebody right there that's going to take him down.
Right.
So
right.
I understand the getting enamored by getting the sacks. Yes, I would love for him to get the sacks, but where we lacked in pass rush last year is not getting any pressure at all, allowing quarterback to stand back there all day long.
Yeah.
If you can't stand back there all day long, it's going to speed up your internal clock, which then can cause you to make mistakes.
Yeah. And I hear what Roadmaster said. He said in 3-4, we don't really have a front four. I don't agree with that, Eternal. And somebody else said something too. I think it was Eternal said teams still get first downs with pressure. That is true. And I don't think none of us is saying that, pressures is the be all, but in order to get a sack, you have to get pressure first. So I've used this analogy once and I'll continue to use it. If the defense is on the field 65 plays, and out of those 65 plays, 30 of those plays were pass plays. You can go back, anybody can go back and check this in NFL history. You will have more pressures than you will have sacks in any football game because the pressure comes before the sack. I've always been of the mindset that yes, sacks are good, but they're not as consistent as pressures. Some games you may get one sack as a team. Other games you might get 5, you might get 7, but it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? You the numbers are up and down all over the place. If I can get continuous, consistent pressure on the quarterback, if he drops back 30 times and half of those pressures are 15, that equates to more sacks than you have. And pressure can not only come from the front four, it can also come from having a hell of a back seven that helps the pressure get homes to create the sacks. You know, if
Yeah.
your cornerbacks are covering like they should, if the safeties are covering like they should on the back end, that's causing the quarterback to hold the ball longer or throw the ball in the dirt, throw it out of bounds, so they won't take a sack or throw it away, wherever it may be. Pressure causes a lot more problems than just a sack. A sack to me, yes, it's an individual stat and it's something that can't happen, I don't believe, unless the team is involved. But to me, a sack is just a sack. You look at the Seahawks last year, the Seahawks, and I can't remember if it was Tico or somebody brought it to my attention. The Seahawks defense last year did not have one player with double digit sacks, but their pressure rate was off the charts. And that's what they did all game long. If you drop back, they apply pressure. And that's how they got a lot of their sacks, individual sacks, a lot of interceptions. There was a lot of balls thrown in the dirt, thrown out of bounds, you know, anything, anything of that nature. So yes, for me, in my opinion, um, I definitely like pressure more than sacks because pressure is more consistent than sacks.
Yeah, I
What
think
you
I do
got?
too, man. I think I agree with you. I mean, sacks can be like just like an empty stat. You know what I mean? If I get a sack on the first play of the game and don't do anything after that, and we end up losing by 20 points, what good was the sack? It's just a stat. It's just a stat at the end of the day. But if I get consistent pressures and
Yeah,
throw the QB off his spot and he threw a whole bunch of incompletions, his completion rate was low. He might have got a tip pick or something like that. I think I value more that more than the sack.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that's just
Thank y'all. I mean, y'all have just made my day,
Hey,
man.
hey, I'm
go
glad
ahead,
you said
Will.
that.
What you got?
Brian Burns had 16 sacks and 4 wins.
yeah. You see what I'm saying? He
Hey,
got all them sacks
that's why I
for
try to
what?
tell people. Miles Garrett had 23 and they had 5.
Yep.
So like I said, when you look at that Seattle Seahawks defense last year, they did not have one double digit sack leader at all.
Yeah.
But
They
you know what they
created
did
havoc.
have? They created havoc with the pressure. And that pressure caused more conflict than a sack. So yeah,
I would
Red
say
Fine
the
Ball.
sack.
We done had hold on, Omar. I mean Mello.
Yep.
We done had this conversation multiple times, Red Fine Bomb. And I'm not gonna entertain you today, sir, unless you on the panel. And you're not on the panel. So
Hey,
whoop de
get
doo.
somewhere and sit down. Running our light bill up. Running our light bill up. Running in and outside the door. Running in and out the door.
Go ahead, Mello. What you gonna say?
I was about to say, I think it's more valuable if you shrink it down to like a drive. Like if I get in a foot, like in a 4 downs, and I get a sack. That's very valuable. But if you stretch it out to the course of a game when it's 60 plays and say a team gets 3 sacks, like that's really not, that's really not saying a whole bunch. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You
you
stretch it
got
out over the
many,
whole game.
just like what you were just saying, Tony. You got many instances of that same thing. Like, I love Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett was absolute animal last year. But Myles Garrett getting all those sacks, like as y'all have already pointed out, did not lead to wins. But if you
Nope.
go look at somebody like your boy down there in Houston, him constantly being in
Will
quarterback
Anderson
spaces.
and Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, them constantly being in quarterback spaces wheeled their team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
facts.
I ain't saying the stack
look,
is useless. It don't mean nothing, but I'm just saying
like,
I think it's a
they
little
didn't get
overvalued
neither
unless
one
you're
of
getting
them.
that much.
I mean, both of them. I think both of them had double-digit sacks, but neither one of them got into the number range of a Myles Garrett. But if you go look at Will, I think Will Anderson led the league in pressure.
Yeah.
So,
Broski said how. Oh, go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, because I was going to respond to something Broski put in the chat. I don't know if it's this one or not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he said how pressures are counted is too loose though. There's a lot of times you get pressure, but you don't get home, and the QB still makes the pass. Let me So that is the very definition of a pressure, broski. The pressure isn't about getting home. If you got home, then it converts into a sack. The pressure is getting the quarterback off his spot, making him hold the ball longer, possibly throwing the ball up for grab, and you may get an interception off of it, throwing the ball away, throwing the ball in the dirt. Whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
pressure can mean a lot of things. So yeah, it's not loose. It's not a loose as you may think. There's just a lot more things that can happen when you causing chaos from pressure. Now, you got some people that value getting a sack more, but like I said,
Can I give the definition? Can I give the NFL definition of a pressure?
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
The definition, the NFL definition of a defensive pressure is any play where the defender physically influences the quarterback, forcing them to alter their throw, scramble, tuck the ball, or throw the ball away, is the definition of an NFL defensive pressure.
Okay. So Red Firebomb and his way of helping keep the conversation going. He said edge rushers are getting massive deals for the number of sacks they put up, not the number of pressure. Ha ha ha. And you are absolutely right, Red
You're right.
Firebomb. I cannot dispute that at all. But as I've said before, the two top sack leaders last year won 4 and 5 games that did not benefit their team whatsoever. Myles Garrett the year before was top 2 in the league in sacks. Did not matter whatsoever. The year before that, he was in like a top 3 or top 4. Didn't matter whatsoever. So my stance still stands. I would prefer pressure. The pressure could come from the front end and the back end. I don't know how many more times that needs to be said for people to understand. So I think I've said it clearly. So I'm going to move on from that. All right. So Rollmaster says sacks are great, but consistent pressure is more effective. Thank you, Rollmaster.
Exactly.
Charlie said, "LOL, Red. I just think at some point you get enough pressure, it gets to a tipping point, and the sacks start flowing like water." Talk to him, Charlie. Talk to him. Put him in the back room and explain to him exactly
I mean,
what you
you
mean.
think about it. How many defensive plays in the NFL? Like over 60 something. And then say
The
a team gets a
average,
sack.
yeah,
Say a team gets a sack,
about
1 sack a quarter. That's 4 sacks over a course of over 60 plays. You know what I mean? I'd rather have, however many like the average pressure in the game. I'd rather have that.
Yeah. So Broski said pressures are participation trophies. Don't downplay the value of a sack. I don't think we're downplaying the value of a sack at all. I think some of you are downplaying the value of a pressure. That's what I'm hearing. Like y'all seem to not understand. In order to get a sack, you have to get said pressure. 1 + 1 is
Yeah.
2. I don't know how you
Yeah.
get a sack if it ain't pressure. I just don't know. The math ain't mathing.
Yeah, that's true
So
too.
And we're hey, look, and
if you can explain it, if you can explain it clearly where I can understand the difference, then be my guest. But I think I'm educated and smart enough to know that I gotta get the B before in order to get the C, I have to get the B, right? You can't get the C without B. So yeah.
look,
Red said, go ahead, Nick.
think about this. Will Anderson had double-digit sacks. I think it was like was it like 11 or 12 or something like
Yeah,
that? I forgot what
12.
it was. But he was consistently in quarterbacks' faces the entire season. He
Yeah,
had
that's
more
what matters.
pressures. He had more pressures than he did sacks, which obviously benefited his team more than having 25 sacks.
Yeah. Like I said, that leads to incomplete passes, low completion percentage. You know what I mean? Tip passes, or him
We
having
get
to
it.
throw
We
off his
get it.
back foot.
It sounds sexy to say, "Oh, you had 25 sacks. Oh, that's great." And that's the end of the play. And that's cool. But just like Tony said, in 60 minutes, you can have a game that has 7 sacks, and the next game only have 2 sacks throughout the entire team. But you could have each one of those games, your pressure percentage could be the exact same. You just didn't make it home.
Right.
At the end of the day,
What's
what's
fellas?
going on, my brother?
What up, Nick? What up?
What's happening with you?
Going on, Mello?
What's happening? What's on your mind, brother?
What's
Talk
up,
to me.
Tico?
Did you hear the last question for the debate?
Yeah. I did about the
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
What
gonna
say
say
you?
pass rush too.
Okay. Give us your thought on that and the recent conversations that we were having about the importance of pressure versus sacks.
Yeah, I
You play in
wanted
the
to.
NFL, you know firsthand what those type of things can bring to the table for a team. So expound on that a little more for us, if you will.
Yeah, I was listening to you while you was breaking it down, and there was me that was that mentioned about the Seahawks defense, and I wanted
Okay,
to
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
and I wanted to let Red know that that's one of the best examples you can give it, because we're not downplaying Myles Garrett's value. We know exactly who Myles Garrett is, and of course, if we had Myles Garrett, we would be talking about his sacks versus his pressures. But
Right.
that's just the thing. Like, that's something that you deal with if you already have that in house. We didn't have that in house, and we're not in the position to where that's not the position that we're in. So when you look at it from a standpoint of just what's more effective, and not pinpointing any individual, sack masters, then the Seattle comparison pretty much, there's really no argument after that. They didn't have a Myles Garrett. They had
Or
4,
Brian
5,
Burns.
6, 7, with the rotation, I'll say 8 niggas that was out there balls to the wall, didn't let the quarterback escape. We talk about the closing door on both sides, the door. So whoever flushes him, the other guy gonna close the door, whether he try to escape out the middle or flush to the other side. We closing the door on him. There's no way to escape. We don't need somebody trying to brush wide outside of the scheme like DJ Wanham, or somebody trying to do a goddamn spin move, or trying to be Miles, Aaron Donald, and do all this fucking pretty shit and get all the way out there gap, and then Mahomes and Shuck skate up the fucking middle because they trying to do too much. I'm telling you, a team that's ferocious, that's quick off the ball, holds their rush lanes, and affects the quarterback will cause more chaos. And if you have a Myles Garrett, then that's just the damn plus.
I got you, Will.
Look at
Hold
the
on.
top. Look at the top sack rushers. They're not. They didn't have no winning records on their team. Myles Garrett, James Pierce. He had what 11, 10, 11. They didn't win that.
Yeah, the only one was Daniil Hunter. But you know that whole defense is damn.
The whole defense is like that, and they create a lot of pressures as well outside of the 15 sacks he had, which helps him get the 15 sacks. You might get pressure from Will Anderson. He trying to escape and then hit him in the back. You know what I mean?
Ain't nowhere to escape. That's why you see niggas like Peyton Manning and Brady. They just fell down. Bitch, you ain't finna hit me.
Aiden Hutchinson was up there. Lions didn't make no play. They didn't make no playoff.
Yeah, they got Wanham over there now trying to close the door.
Let me say this, man. I don't think people listening to what we saying. I think people are thinking we saying that sacks are not important. Sacks are important.
Yeah.
But what we're telling you is that teams usually get more pressure than they do sacks. Because without the pressure, you'll never get a sack.
Like Melo was saying, sacks is more. What do you say? What's the word I'm looking for? Situation.
Like when you shrink it down, situation. Like you shrink it down, man.
Like if it's third and long or fourth and long, and this the last play of the game, we need a sack. Like Derek Brown strip sack against the Rams. Yeah, of course.
Right.
But that was pressure.
Right.
That pressure forced the sack because before he got pressured, he was standing in the pocket. When the pressure came, he had to run outside the pocket. And when he tried to run and put that arm down, Big Grizzly grabbed that bitch and he fumbled it because of the pressure. But the pressure is what caused the strip sack. My guy.
Exactly.
Talk to him.
I just gotta listen.
You said it, not me.
Gotta listen. You don't know everything. You just gotta listen.
I don't know.
Do you think they know everything?
Yeah. Yeah, talk to him. Talk to him, fellas. Hey, let me get I need one person to drop off so I can get Will back up here. I think he got something that he want to say real quick.
I'll drop off.
No, I'll drop off. I'm about to drop anyway. I'm about to lose signal. I'll drop off. I'll hop back in.
Okay.
If it's wrong.
All right, appreciate it, Mello. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll catch y'all.
All right, my boy.
Let me get.
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, Tony.
Yeah.
Unless somebody O-legs or whiffs, that's just like a sack without pressure. You feel what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, the pressure is what causes the sack. Because once the quarterback sees the pressure, he does something other than what he was about to do, which causes him to take the sack, whether it is step up or step back or step to the right or step to the left or tuck the ball or try to run. That the pressure caused the sack. What are we doing? Except for the shit that Anthony Richardson did where he didn't see the free blitzer and the nigga came off the edge scot-free and just got them planted him in the dirt. I can say that's a sack. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say that, okay, I give you that. But other than that, like most of the sacks I've seen came because of the pressure.
Yeah, let me be clear for anybody that's listening, anybody in the chat that's not clear on where I stand, and if I didn't make myself or explain it clearly enough. In order to get a sack, you have to have pressure. A pressure equals a sack. So again, if somebody can point to me how many times, if there's ever been a situation or any NFL game that you could think of where there were more sacks than pressure, please tell me what game that is. I will pull the stats. And if I can get the film, I will pull the film because I understand what the narrative that some people are trying to create. And like I said, I want the record to be known where I stand with this. I'm not saying that I prefer one over the other. I just believe that pressures are more consistent than sacks. But if you out there that's listening or in the chat, if you can pinpoint or if you know of or you could think of a particular game where there was more sacks than pressure, by all means, please tell me what it was. And we can look at the stats of that said game, or we can even pull the film, and I will be glad to put it on the screen.
Even,
Okay.
even. Hey, look.
Tony.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Will.
Will. Go ahead, Will.
I I think that everybody truly understands that sacks man. And nobody on the panel is saying that it's not. But I just want to say
Yeah.
this. Daniil Hunter had 83 pressures last season.
93.
Okay?
93.
No. Daniil Hunter had 83. And
Oh, you said Daniil Hunter. My
Daniil
bad.
Hunter had 83. And old boy had 93. And Anderson had 93.
Will Anderson. Yeah.
Will Anderson had 93. I just want you to understand.
Hold on, Will.
Take that.
What was the grand total of those two pressures?
150.
Do that for me.
I think it was 100. It was number one in the
not
league. Let's
92
just say
and
93 and 83.
That's
93 and 83. That's about
good.
176.
176.
About 170, 186,
That's
something like that.
200.
Now, with that being said,
19 and 15.
how many defensive plays did they run last season? Just think about that.
Yeah.
Probably
you had
not
maybe
many.
300, probably 300 and something defensive snaps they had last season.
Yeah, they didn't run many because they was getting off the field.
Half of them, they affected the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole game it was.
So now I take
Didn't
that.
know what's happening.
I wanted to take that particular stat and juxtapose that to the divisional round game that they played. Their defense pressure was so good that if Stroud would have kneeled the ball 3 times and punted it on every offensive possession, they would have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
To say that pressures is an empty calorie shows that you are just being staunch in your position of the ESPNisms of the world. That is not real.
Right. Answer me this, Tony. Answer me this, big dog.
Oh, hold on, Tico. Hold on. You know how Red Farmbomb is, Blue Falcon, aka Blue Falcon. You know how he do. He like to stir the pot every now and then. I get it. I get it, my brother. Go ahead, Tico.
What's one of the easiest sacks you can get in the world?
Pressure sack.
One of the easiest. Unblocked defender.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Okay, yeah, the unblocked defender, exactly. Okay, so let me kind of propose it in a different way. Is there a way you can get a sack without even touching the quarterback?
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah, if he fall down.
Oh, you fall down and you touch him?
No, I'm talking about a strip sack.
Oh, a strip sack. Yeah.
The quarterback holding the ball in his arms, and you run past him, and you just tap the ball out his arm. That's a sack and a fumble and a strip, right? And a fumble on the fourth fumble.
Yeah, that's fact. Yeah.
Okay, that wins our whole point. We didn't even have to touch the quarterback to get a sack. All we had to do was be there.
So can I? So Red, I
Go
did
ahead,
not forget to. Red Swarm, I did not forget to mention. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Will.
Go ahead, Will.
No, go ahead, Will. Hold on, Tico. Go ahead, Will.
Red Swarm, I did not forget to mention that they had 27 sacks. What I'm trying to explain is pressures matter. Sacks matter. But what happens is is that people keep making it seem like sacks is the only thing that matters. That's the point. No
How
one is
many?
saying
How
that.
many? How many pressures? How many pressures was it again, Will?
I think it was what 170
Total, about
something.
176. One. So with all that high, with those high numbers of pressures, it created how many sacks between those two?
27.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I did not omit to mention that they didn't have 27 sacks. I guess what we are all saying that sacks matters, but consistent pressure affects the game a lot. A
Yeah.
lot.
And causes
Eternal.
those and causes those sacks.
People are trying to make it seem like pressures are empty calories. Pressures are not empty calories when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
This gave the
That's all.
perfect
That's all I'm
analogy.
trying to
That's
say.
the strip sack.
Charlie the gamer said to you, he said, nah, Tico, LOL, a strip sack isn't a pressure. You still had to make contact before the ball leaves the hand.
No.
What say you, Tico?
No. If I'm rushing the quarterback and the quarterback has the ball tucked and he hasn't and his arm motion isn't going forward, I knock the ball out of his hand. I don't have to touch the quarterback. All I have to do is touch the ball. If I bat the ball out of the quarterback's hand, that is a strip sack.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
Period. I don't have to touch his pinky, his palm, his nothing. All I got to do is make him fumble while he got the ball in the pocket. Strip sack. I don't make the rules. That's what it is.
Big Grizzly did it to Matthew Stafford last year. He knocked the ball out of his hands before he even touched him. They had already called him that was a sack.
So, and I think that, and people keep making it seem like it's so such a subjective tracking. It says it occurs when the pass rusher physically influences the quarterback. It didn't say if I cause you to have to step up in the pocket and somebody else get the sack, my pressure caused the sack.
Exactly.
Hey,
I don't
think
understand.
I got y'all. This will put things in perspective. So the sacks are important. The sacks are important because they took them down and they ended the play right then and there. But think about it like this. They ran 694 plays last year, Neil Hunter and Will Anderson. 694 plays. They got pressure 25.4% of the time. That's one pressure every 4 snaps.
Every 4 play. Yeah, right.
And what's the percentage of their sacks based off the pressures that was created?
I'll tell you 1 second.
And think about it. Some of those plays were run plays. I don't 600 some odd plays. Some of them happened was run plays.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that
You
number
keep them away from my quarterback. You keep them away from my quarterback. That's all I got to say.
So they had 3.89% for sacks. That's one sack every 5.7 snaps.
Yeah. So, like I always say in the famous words of Jay-Z, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So take that however you choose to take it. Do with it whatever you choose to do with it. The numbers are the numbers. So yeah. But it's all in opinion, right? We're not sitting here saying that it's 100% concrete or whatever. My opinion, like I've stated before, and I say again, I would rather have consistent pressure because that can cause more chaos than a sack. Now, I know we are sad. We know people get excited when they see big sack numbers and things like that. And there's other things that play into the broader picture, whether your offense was good or not that year, whether you had good special teams, because it's the ultimate team game, right? So, but like Tico has mentioned before, which I thought was a great example when he mentioned it the other day. I think we was on Unk Channel when you brought that up. When you look at Seattle, Seattle had a very good offense, excellent defense, and they had dogs on every level, and they created pressure from every level. It wasn't just about one defensive end or another defensive end or pass rusher. No, it was a collective effort. They brought chaos all 4 quarters from the first game to the last game. That's what Seattle did. And when you look at it from that perspective, I don't think anybody as a fan in Seattle or a player for the Seahawks would trade that in for 23 sacks from Myles Garrett or 16 and a half sacks from Brian Burns. I bet you $1,000 to your one they wouldn't. So again, if we can get our defense to cause consistent pressure this year, if Jalen Phillips can help do that, if Devin Lloyd can help do that, I believe our sack total as a team will increase.
For sure.
Right?
For
I
sure.
believe the sack total will increase, but I would love to see the pressure that we haven't seen in the past 2 or 3 years from our defense. Because when we just talk about Panther football, applying pressure is something that has eluded us for the past few years.
Yeah. And they say they always want to take the low hanging fruit, but shit really don't, you know what I'm saying, don't really add up in the grand scheme. Like somebody in the chat said, you can get pressure and then the quarterback escape and still throw a bomb or something like that. That shit don't happen all the time. Ain't that many Mahomes and goddamn people breaking through no pressure and throwing bombs down the field. Like they might escape and run for a first down, or they might complete a pass. That's gonna happen. But what's gonna happen? What we seen happen more of the time is what Tony said is Myles Garrett having 23 and a half and winning 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Or Brian Burns winning 4 or 5 games. That happens more than a quarterback escaping pressure and throwing a bomb. So come on now, if you want to pick something to use in your argument, at least pick something that have some kind of validity to it that you can argue. You know what I'm saying? Because saying that there's a chance he can escape and throw a bomb. Come on now, what are we doing?
Well, Red Swarm, I think at this point, we're going to agree to disagree. You feel how you feel. I feel how I feel. I think there's enough people that have commented on the panel in the chat. You know, everybody has an opinion. I ain't taking that away from nobody. Never have, never will. So yeah, I'm just gonna wash my hands on that situation and say we just agree to disagree, my brother. Hey, it's all good. It is all good. All right, fellas, we're getting ready to get up out of here. Is there anything else anybody would like to say on the panel? Go ahead, Will. We'll go with you first.
Hey, thanks for the good time, man. It was a great conversation. I think that we understand that Ejiro Evero is a lot better defensive coordinator than we give him credit. That's hard for me to say because I was the Ejiro Evero guy with my pitchfork out. So I guess I gotta eat my words a little bit. Hey, my bad, EJ. I look forward to seeing what this is gonna look like this season coming up. Thanks for allowing me on the panel, Tony.
Hey, no worries, no worries. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey man, I just wanted to say this, man. Y'all was talking about the Seahawks. The Seahawks had almost 40% pressure rate.
40% pressure rate?
Yeah. They had almost a 40% pressure rate. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
You see what I'm saying? But we still debating though. But we still debating.
And they won the Super Bowl. Enough said.
Go ahead, Tico.
But yeah, Nick kind of just closed the casket and nailed it. And hey man, listen, EJ. I mean, all different coordinators, they're gonna have, their weaknesses. Even
Yeah.
Vangio, the mastermind of the defense, Philly defense ain't all world. They won't top 5, even with the players that they got. You see what I'm saying? So I think he's good at what he does. A lot of people, fans, and some players, Brian Burns, a couple of others, Lou, some of them, say there's things that they don't like about him. That read and react first, dropping the DNs back in coverage on certain pass downs when the DNs want to eat. They're trying to get their numbers. But I think
Yeah.
his scheme, there's a method to his madness, and we've seen what he can do with the passing concepts and being prepared for route concepts. Our DBs normally eat. So I think, like you said, with the talent that we have, if you compare our talent with all the teams that we played, it's a
Yeah,
lot, especially those upper echelon games. We didn't have as much.
Yeah.
We didn't have nowhere as near as much talent on either side of the ball in those games, bro. So just
All
you know what
right.
I'm saying. So just imagine what we can do if we can play that same type of ball with and now stacking up the same when we can get off the bus looking the same as these other niggas type shit when it comes down to just talent for talent, guy for guy.
All right. So, hey, Nick, let me drop you off and let me get Broski up here and let's hear his spiel real quick. So I want to be open, honest, and fair to everybody. So let's see what Broski got. So I'm gonna just drop you back into oh, well, damn, he already left. Okay. Let me bring Broski up. What's up, Broski? Talk
Thanks
to
for
me.
thanks for letting me back on. So
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah, so here's the thing, man. Quarterbacks, it's part of like being a quarterback. It's part of basic training, basic drills that they do to deal with pressure, right? You get pressure
Mhm.
on the quarterback. Sometimes the pocket collapses. What are you taught like fundamentally as a quarterback since you're playing quarterback since middle school? Step up in the pocket, right? So it's
Mhm.
not necessarily you have to break the pocket and throw a bomb down the field and all this stuff, right? Like it's more like a pressure is highly overrated because you're not getting there. You're not necessarily creating a positive outcome for the defense, right? Now, pressures where
Mhm.
you get hits on the quarterback, yeah, that adds up. I'm not gonna lie, like that will most likely add up, right? So that's a little different. But what I'm saying is this too: you got to look at it if you're an offensive coordinator as well, right? Okay, this end is getting a lot of pressure. We're having a difficult time blocking him, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what's the best way? And T. Cole can answer is what's the best way to counter like a defensive end who's getting off, who keeps getting to the quarterback or creating pressure, right? You run right at him.
Run at them or
So
chip them with a tight end or running back.
yep, right.
Okay.
So a lot of like the Ben Johnsons of the world and the Kubiaks of the world and the Shanahans of the world. Okay, you're bringing some pressure. You're doing a good job today. You guys ate your
Yeah.
Wheaties this morning. You know, whatever. Like, guess what? Keep bringing that pressure because we're just setting you up now, and they're going to take advantage of it, right? The only way to
Mhm.
guarantee
Definitely.
it's not going to be taken advantage of is if you get home and get the sack, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Can
So
I can I
kind of.
respond? Can I
hold on,
respond
Tico.
to this?
Hold on. Hold on. Tico, you go, and then Will can go. But let me ask Broski a question real quick. So, just listening to what you were just saying, and I know you was talking about the pressures from the DN, right? But can the pressure come from anybody on the line?
Oh, I was
It
just
doesn't
using that.
necessarily. So
Yeah,
so
I
I get
agree.
it. I
I
get
agree with that.
I
I
get what you're
agree.
saying. So yes, most of the time, if the pressure's coming from a defensive end, yes. If the pocket is available for the quarterback to step into or step into and out of,
Right.
yes, he can do that. But what if the pressure's coming from the middle?
Well, I'm glad you brought
What
that up because I was actually just
what
going to say pressure in general, and I thought you were probably going to call me
so
out and say the other way.
no, I
So
ain't. No.
But that's
I
the
ain't trying
same thing. But it's yeah. If the pressure's up the middle, obviously you can't step up into it, or you're gonna get sacked,
Okay.
right? Right.
All
So
right.
then what's gonna happen? Then you're gonna counter that. The
So
offensive coordinator is gonna counter that. So like a lot of times too, like if it's 4th and inches, right? I mean,
mhm.
sometimes it's a little dump off to the tight end who's not getting covered because they're
Well,
bringing the house or something, right?
let's just be
Or
real. If it's 4th and inches, hold on. If it's 4th and inches, 9 times out of 10, you running it. You ain't passed it for 4th and inches. Let's just be honest
oh
about
no, I
that.
understand that, but I'm just
Not
saying
not
a lot of these
10.
quarterbacks in the league
Yeah,
now
okay.
too. Like you got to understand, this is basic for them. This isn't like it's like, oh, we got a pressure, check the box, PFF, add the stat. It doesn't necessarily mean they have an impact. And like I'm saying,
So
week 1, when you're playing
right.
Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and that
Can I?
offense, you better bring that guy down because this guy thrives off of that stuff. So I don't
Okay,
want to hear
so
about the pressure. And another, let me just finish one more point, and then I'm just going to shut up. I think it's funny that
go
Panthers
ahead.
fans are now on the pressure bandwagon because they just signed Jalen Phillips to 120 million, gave him a $120 million contract because the guy's
Pressure
had 6
bandwagon.
total
No, that's an
sacks
Well, hold on,
overstatement.
the last
Tico.
2
Hold on,
seasons.
Tico. Let him
Overstatement.
finish.
6
Hold on, Tico.
combined
Let him
sacks
finish.
the last 2 seasons, right? And now everyone's all about the pressures here, right? Talk to me about
Okay.
his pressures at the end of the season when he has like 3 or 4 sacks for the whole year.
Okay. Go ahead,
Okay.
Tico.
No, what I was gonna say was what we said was consistent pressure, not just one person getting sacks off the edge. Consistent pressure means there is no escape hatch. Now I understand where you were saying as far as about if you send in the house and your DB can't cover the receiver and they make a completion and they take it 50 yards because the DB isn't as good as the receiver. But that doesn't negate that they got the pressure and at the front 7 won. The DB lost. And the quarterback was smart enough to get the ball off. But so I understand that chess match as far as, offensive coordinators and scheming against the blitz when you send in the house. But what I was more so speaking on is like when you only sending 4 or 5, you could be playing man or zone. You don't have to be playing zone. Man, to send pressure. The zone blitz is one of the most effective blitzes because they don't know who dropping, who coming, and then you can you don't know what coverage they playing. It could be a match coverage, 2 on one side, quarters on the other side, like a 9 or a cover 6 or something like that.
Or that
But
delayed blitz too, right? You can kind of do that as well.
Right, I see what you're saying as far as like when a quarterback like Brady, he know everybody coming, like you're not going to get a sack on him. so it was almost like you had to pick your poison. The way the Ravens beat him was because, and I always go back to this, and I think Denver did it too. The way the Ravens and the Saints, when the Saints owned Brady, the way you beat Brady is pressure and coverage. It couldn't just be pressure. You had to have the DBs that could walk up into the receiver's faces and stay in the phone booth with them for about 3 seconds. That's all you needed. And give time for the pressure to get there. And if you remember, the only teams that beat Brady was the teams that could do that. That could send pressure and play tight man covers. Somebody that you remember they used to always get what's my guy name? Oh, the dude, the corner, Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib was the Gronk killer. You remember they used to always get Talib. Denver went and got him, and then the Ravens they kept DBs, and I think then the Patriots signed them to take motherfuckers out the game. But that's just how it is, man. With pressure, if you going all out like that, but I see what you're saying, Broski Bear. But we definitely ain't negating sacks. But when Myles Garrett can have 23 and you not win 5 games, or like it's just consistent pressure from everybody is more than just one person having 23 sacks. You see what I'm saying? That's just like if you got 4 or 5 niggas that's just coming consistently.
I just wanted to
Go
say
ahead,
this,
Will.
a couple of quick things. The Seattle Seahawks was the most consistent pressure defense in the NFL, and they won the Super Bowl. The team who had the best chance of winning the Super Bowl with their defense last season was basically the Houston Texans. The team who had the most sacks was the Denver Broncos, who was a contender for the Super Bowl. We are not saying that sacks don't matter. What we are saying is that consistent pressure is a key ingredient in having a top level defense. To suggest that Panther fans are now on the sack train because we signed Jalen Phillips is just being slightly disingenuous. All
I
we're
don't
doing
believe
is
so.
clearly, I know you don't believe it, and that's fine. What I'm explaining to you is that once you look at the numbers, behind the numbers is where that is coming from. So Ben Johnson is not an oracle. If you get consistent pressure, you are going to affect the quarterback. He's not, he doesn't have a magic decoder ring for everything in the NFL. He's smart, but he's not
At the mercy of how his quarterback reacts to the
know
pressure.
what I'm saying? It's not. I mean, we're talking about the team that had the most pressure in the NFL, won the flipping Super Bowl, and then you turn around and saying, "Oh, pressure." You know, you didn't say this. I don't know.
Double digit sack
to make your stats,
but there were some people saying that. I'm not saying some people in the chat. Some people are attempting to say that pressure is an empty calorie, which is not true.
It can be.
It
very well can be. And here's my thing: to support your stance, this is what you need to find out.
Empty calorie too.
How many, right, of these pressures, these plays that you generated pressure, right? Did they check the little PFF stat box because they're subjectively measured pressure, right?
Right. Yeah,
how many times was the play still successful?
You're
going to find out the play was still successful on a lot of those.
I got to take off after this. Yeah. How many empty calorie sacks does Myles Garrett have last season?
Thank you.
Yeah, and so you're gonna go there, right? And I'm sure, he had a couple
valid,
where the guy laid down, but why did he lay down?
It's valid.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Okay.
I got to get to my meeting.
I'm just going to destroy that point really quick.
Broski, hold on, Broski. Hold on. I just said hold on. Go ahead, Broski.
Okay, yeah. So whether it was a sack where the guy hit him or the quarterback went down because he didn't want to take a hit, the guy put a hand on him, it's still a sack. It's still a loss, right? Plenty of times there's pressures where the quarterback doesn't get hit where the play is successful. That rate is much higher than an empty calorie sack, as you would say, because it's still a sack. It's still negative yards, right? It's still, you know what I mean? You ended the play. The play was ended there. So it's definitive, right? The subjective PFF stats of pressures is where it's like you don't even necessarily hit the quarterback, right? I know you're gonna say, "Oh, but on sacks sometimes you don't." Okay, there's a higher percentage of pressures where you get away with not hitting the quarterback, right?
Well, Broski, I don't have PFF, so I don't go off of PFF stats.
I'm saying this is one of those next level, next gen stats or whatever. This pressure stuff, right?
No, pressure's always been a stat.
Yes, it hasn't always been a stat. It definitely hasn't always been a stat, though.
Pressure, okay.
They started keeping sacks in like 81, basically like Lawrence Taylor's rookie season.
Okay, so when they started tracking sacks back in 81, you don't believe that pressures were tracked at the same time?
Nope.
Okay,
absolutely not.
So we can all definitely, like I said, we're not going to continue to beat a dead horse. We can all agree to disagree. We can have our opinions, and like I said, opinion is neither right nor wrong. you believe what you believe, and the other person believe what they believe. At the end of the day, it's all good. So
I hear you, man.
that's
I hear you.
how that's how we're gonna leave it. Y'all got anything else final that y'all would like to say? Broski, you go first.
Yeah, thank you for providing the forum to invite fans of other teams on, and just anyone in general to come on and respectfully discuss their opinion. T.
Yeah,
Cole,
no doubt.
T. Cole, who you rooting for week 1, Bears or Panthers?
Panthers fan, baby.
All right,
Through.
well, bear down anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna be, I'm always gonna be, have a little something in my heart for the Bears, but ain't none of them niggas there that I was there with, not front office or not.
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
Tico,
Well,
go
hey,
ahead.
guys have a
Go
great
ahead.
day,
Go
all
ahead.
right?
You too,
All right,
bro.
broski.
Yeah, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. I think we done, I done said my little closings, arguments or whatever, and
That was
like,
a little good back and forth debate. I enjoyed it.
it actually wasn't a debate, but you know how that go.
Hey, shout out to my boy Blue Swarm for bringing a little juice, a little spiciness to the
Yeah,
panel
for
today.
sure.
I
Yeah, damn
appreciate that.
right. Appreciate you,
I
Blue.
appreciate that. All right. So yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and make my closing statement, and so we can get up out of here. So yeah, the Evero debate has to be fair, but fair does not mean soft. All right. Denver proved he can coordinate a strong defense. Carolina's 2023 numbers proved his structure can produce, but the full Panthers reality still leaves real questions. So here is where I stand. Do not give Evero lazy blame, but do not give him automatic protection either. If you blame the coach, explain the breakdown. If you defend the coach, explain the roster limitation. Evero should not get lazy blame, but he should not get automatic protection either. All right. That is how we keep the conversation football smart. All right. So that's it today for the morning kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. On your way out, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn that post notification bell so you'll be alerted each morning when I do go live. That is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. Share it with your people and drop your answers to the questions in the comments. All right. No fake hot takes, no media spin, just real football real football talk. My bad. So with that being said, everybody, enjoy your day. I'm out and keep pounding.